on recording. Come on, y'all. It's party time. It's time to get started. Are you ready to make some money? Put my hearts on here. Got this for you, John.
The glasses are awesome.
Hey. Money, 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 money. Woo! Yeah. All right, we get started in 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
Tell a little bird, hit a little man, bring him on over. Because we're going to talk about making you some money. Ka-ching, 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 ching, ching. Yeah.
He's cranking.
Woo-hoo.
Love that.
All right. Let's get this party started. I'm excited to have you here. My name is Raven, known by many as the Talk Show Maven. And they recently crowned me, our listeners recently crowned me the Queen of Blab. Because I teach you how to blab it up with confidence, a lot of authenticity, and some flavor. And then I show you how to interview icons like John and turn those into products. And can we say multiple streams of income? Ka-ching, ka-ching. So I want to welcome you. I'm going to take off my crown here. And let me introduce you to the man of the hour. So my cute time is over. I got to put on my glasses. So we can really bring this man on. Get ready to learn a lot of great stuff. Hello, Erica. We have Mary Smith Moore, Nade in the house, Reverend Noreen, Richard. Hello. Yes, I am, but you know how that is. Okay, let's see. Hello. Good deal. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate you being here. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to John because we got a lot to cover. So I want to go ahead and bring him on. Bring up his bio so I can give this man his to-do for sure. So first of all, if you don't know me, I'm known for interviewing the best of the best. That's just the way I am. This is what I teach. And we'll talk about another time why that's so important. So, running across the scope and blab highway of success is where I've been recently finding people to interview. Hello, Thelma. And one of the people that I ran across was someone I met years ago. He doesn't even remember me, but I remember him because he was so powerful. He was so, oh God, what can I say? He just caught your attention just like that. Number one, look at that tie. Thank you. Look at that tie. Cool. That's one of the reasons I always knew him from his tie for sure. And then the other way I always knew him is he always had affirmations of the day. And so, John, get ready because I'm going to ask you what your affirmation for the day is. So I remember that. And I really got involved in, I got involved in doing affirmations. So I want to talk to him about that. We're going to be talking about 3 motivational marketing strategies plus 3 words to use for your marketing. And he's powerful when it comes to words. I tell you guys all the time, it's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. And you have to speak it in existence. So let me tell you about John. In September 2001, John D. Lemme founded the D. Lemme Development Group. It's a company known worldwide for its role in expanding the personal development industry. As president and CEO, John strives for excellence in every area of his business and believes that you must surround yourself with like-minded people. Yeah, a team in order to stay on top of your game. See, a lot of times people just go out and pick different people and there's no method to your madness. You got to get like-minded people to be part of your team because that way they're there for a long time. Now, John's passion is to teach others how to live a champion life. And that's how I met him. He was all about calling people a champion. Thank you for the hearts. And he talks about champion. When he responds to your email, he says, "Hi, champion." Oh, it's such a feel-good feeling. Thank you, John, for that. He's awesome about that. And despite the label society has placed on him through his books, audio, video material, sold out, live seminars, sold out, numerous television interviews, intensive training boot camps, he has one of the best masterminds out there. And he's all about motivation and marketing. See, the two go together. It's a mindset, guys. And so, he's here. I'm proud to bring him on. The man with the pink tie, the boyish look, don't get it twisted. He's all man, especially when it comes to his business. Hey, John, how you doing?
Raven, you're awesome, champion. I'm excited. It's exciting. This is going to be a great interview. It's exciting.
It's going to be an awesome interview. Okay, so I'm going to turn Periscopers. I'm going to turn you to the screen, move my crown, and you will see John. So John, wave to the Periscopers.
Scopers, you're awesome.
Thanks for the hearts and keep sharing us.
Thanks for the hearts.
And then, yeah, and then if you guys want to come over to Blab, I put the link, so come on over. John, you got your Periscopers on, and they're welcome to come. Hey, Arson.
I got
good deal.
Going here.
So I'm getting a little echo, John. What is that? Okay, I'm getting a little echo on your side.
Maybe you gotta lower it a little bit.
Yeah, let me lower my volume too from the music. Okay, so give me a good sentence, John.
Raven is a champion. I love her glasses and I love her hat.
He loves my hat. Straight from New York. After the Periscope, a woman must do her shopping. Christy knows about that. Thank you, John. So, John, Inquiring Minds wants to know, what's this thing with the champion? I mean, you've said that for years, and you stuck to that. That hasn't changed. You haven't changed. I seen you in 2004. The only thing that's changed about you, if there's a such thing as more powerful, I don't even know if I can say that, because you've always been powerful. But where does champion thing come from, and what exactly does champion mean to you?
I believe in life, everybody is born a champion. I actually have a book titled Champions Are Born, Losers Are Made. Every single one of you dialing in today or listening in on Blab and Periscope, I know for a fact you were born a champion. And every single one of you have a birthday. That's the day you were born on this earth, designed for a purpose and a destiny. And you walked by faith when you were younger. You were excited about life. You were enthusiastic. And everyone thinks of a 6-month-old, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old that brings joy to a life. It's a champion. And then what happens is we start to grow up in life. And we make a decision, get around certain people that kind of subtract that joy, subtract that focus. So I believe every one of you listening today on Blab from around the world and on Periscope, I want you to grab a pen that writes, because note takers are history makers. The more notes you take, the more history you get. See, we don't watch the news, we make the news. And what we're doing right now is we're making history. So I want all of you right now to start off today, Tuesday, September 29th at 2:13 Eastern Time, 11:13 Pacific Time. I want you to write down the most important day of your life, your birthday. I was born 11/5/1965, November 5th, 1965, 8:35 a.m., room 404. I was birthed. And at that point, my life began. So champion, all of you are born champions, and all of us in life are champions. And we make today a championship day, and we go out and make champion decisions, and make sure we're around champions. And I believe, because I see so many people, see your business is a reflection of your belief structure. Your business is a reflection of who you're around and who's empowering you. So you want to make sure that you're around champions and you're around people that are encouraging you and empowering you. So I believe champions are the key. And it's so important, because so many people in life, their self-image and their self-esteem issues are so low because of emotional issues they've been through. And I've been teaching now, as you know, you saw me back in 2004. I've been speaking for 15 and a half years. I've got the 23 plus books. I've spoken in 31 countries, every state in America. And what's interesting is I was diagnosed a stutterer at the age of 4.
I remember that.
So I want all of you to realize right now, take a look at that date, and whatever notes you take after that number and whatever you choose to learn predicts your earning. The more you learn, the more you earn. And inside earn and inside learn is ear. Whatever you choose to put in your ears will eventually get in your heart. Inside heart is ear. And eventually whatever comes out of your mouth is based upon your faith gates of your ears and your heart and your eyes. Then we go out and produce, and then we go out and build multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses. And behind me here, we're actually blabbing here from my private office here in South Florida. And what I'm known for is a wall of fame. Everything behind me here are framed testimonials of successful entrepreneurs and students of mine that have transformed their life. And I can tell you right now, guys, you're a born champion.
Oh, I love it. You're a born champion. And like you were saying, focus on the day that you were born. I mean, you had it down to the second. All I know is April 12, 1951.
There you go.
So that's interesting that you look at that. And John, I said earlier that one of the things I remember about you, because I kind of hooked my wagon to you early on once I seen you in 2004 at Jeff Combs' event. and you always have had your affirmation for the day. So let's talk about that, because I know a lot of what you teach on the motivational part is the mindset. I'm back in the day, so I always say the thinking, because that's where I come from, hearing Brian Tracy and people talk about that. And that puts us in the fear, and it puts us in the procrastination. And these are things I know for a fact you help your clients with. But for a moment, why don't you share with us, I know you do your scope shows and things, what's your affirmation for the day and why?
As a matter of fact, since I've seen you over 11 years ago, I've authored a book titled 365 Affirmations to absolutely guarantee a record-breaking year. And today is day 272 of the year. So the 272nd affirmation for today is, lifestyle freedom is my birthright, and fear will never stop me from having it ever again. See the word affirmation means declaration of truth. And words are invisible dynamite sticks. They either blow you the other way or blow you forward. See, here's what's powerful. Every word we say has power. Obviously, as soon as I open my mouth, everyone on here is saying, well, he's from New York. Immediately, when I open my mouth, what did you hear? You heard my accent. I want you guys to write this down. Grab the most valuable asset you own in your life is a pen. See, ink. Whatever you write, see, when you write, you can't remember your past. You can't be negative. You're learning. So an affirmation is a declaration of truth. That's why when you speak words of power and words of increase and words of encouragement, those are words are affirming people, building up their belief, declaring who they are. And it's so important to realize that the word I am, there is, in this affirmation book, there's 265 affirmations that have I am in it. And you see, the first affirmation is so powerful. And I want to read this. Affirmation number 1 is, I'm committed to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to be a why warrior 1000%. You see, all words, every word we speak is a seed. And you see, the fruit only obeys the root, and the root only obeys the seed. And the seeds of our life are in our control. Because every word your client hears is a word coming out of your mouth. Now, your client should be encouraged, empowered, excited. So every day I teach something called MMP, Morning Miracle Preparation. See, already this morning, Raven, I did 90 minutes of self-development this morning, and part of it is I read every affirmation out loud. The power of the spoken word. Guys, get ready, buckle your seatbelt in, hold on. Every time you speak an outwardly spoken word of power, you instantly detonates inward fear. Because all of you know that we have an internal conversation sometimes about ourselves, about our potential. And when you speak affirmations out loud, you can't hear the old you try to shut down the new you. That's what affirmation
That's good.
And I'll say it again, guys.
I love that.
You can't hear the old you try to shut down the new you. Now, some of you look at this and go, that's powerful motivation, but let me express something to you. I've created personally, through my mentorship and mastermind clubs, this year over $94 million of revenue for entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, realtors, network marketers, and CEOs. All start their day. You guys, you have to prepare. See, morning preparation guarantees afternoon miracle. 3 words. Preparation builds confidence, and confidence is what you're marketing, because your consumer wants to purchase confidence. When we go on Amazon.com, we're confident. When we get into Uber, we get into an Uber driver, we're confident. So I can go on for 3 hours straight, as you know, Raven. So affirmations are the key.
I love it, and I wanted to start there because it is all about the mindset, as we know, John. And what you speak about, you bring about. So you want to affirm what you want to invite in your life, right, John? Yeah, so I would definitely pick up his book. Thanks, Christy, for putting that link in. So you don't have to worry about trying to come up with affirmations. Stick to your gift. John had his gift, and so he put a collection together. So you can go to 365, the number 365, affirmationsbook.com. How easy can he make that? See, everything doesn't have to be hard. That's easy breezy.
Matter of fact, when you met me, I believe we were dating when I met Raven. Now my wife and I are now married 10 years.
Wow.
She's the boss. She is.
That's awesome.
She is.
See, boy, things change. Things change for you. You guys you went from fiance to being married. I went from one husband to a better one. So, hey, you never know what happens in 10 years.
You're awesome. What I love about, Raven, I'll be very direct. Before you ask me one other question, which is great. Guys, look, Raven, as soon as she went online today, as soon as she went live, you felt the energy and enthusiasm and excitement. I ask people, you want to make sure you're a member of the Triple E Club. Energy, enthusiasm, and excitement, because that's what people are buying. They're buying your focus, your excitement, your enthusiasm. Guys, many of you got to increase your enthusiasm and remove yourself from people who say, well, I wouldn't do things like that. I wouldn't say affirmations. I wouldn't listen to Raven each week. I wouldn't get around to Lemme affirmations. Remove negative, toxic people out of your life now and get around champions like Raven. Just want your enthusiasm, your excitement, your glasses, your hat, you're fired up, you're focused. I love it.
Thank you so much, so much. Here's the thing, guys. You never know when you go and you sit at an event. You have a choice of sitting and just soaking the information in, which is good, or you can soak the information in, hook your wagons to the speakers, and aspire to be on that stage like them. And that's exactly what happened with me when I seen you and Jeff and all the people that he had there. And I know I have, okay, you want to see? I'll show you what I look like back then. Can you see that?
That's awesome.
That was before my hat, and that was before my radio days, and that was Jim Rome.
Oh, Jim Rome.
He passed away like a couple years right after that or something. But the thing is, I seen John among some other mentors and masters, and I started speaking in existence. I didn't know how, John, that I was going to be on the stage one day, that I was going to be a teacher and a motivational person like yourself. And then years down the line, because, like I told you, I didn't have my radio show at that time. And then years down the line, by accident, I started radio, and it's becoming to this empire. So my point being, and I love for you to speak on, is people don't have to look at where they are today or yesterday, right? They can just start designing the life they want to have for tomorrow. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely, guys. I want you to write this down. Today's actions predict tomorrow's results. I want you to write it down. Today's actions predict tomorrow's results. Now, what I'm going to share with you right now, I believe will be the #1 prescription to solve any deadly viruses called procrastination, indecision, low self-belief, bad relationships. Is the #1 excuse I've heard all around the world is people will say to me, well, Raven, well, John, you don't know my past. You see, if your past is lauded to you, then your future is just going to duplicate your past worse. Now, here's the situation. Today is Tuesday, September 29th. Next Tuesday, today is going to be tomorrow's past. So if you want to utilize and make your past the best ever, make today the best ever, and then tomorrow will just be an outward expression and revelation of what you do today. And there are certain things you have to do today, guys. You have to eliminate unnecessary and useless relationships. You have to eliminate negative, toxic people out of your life now. You must get around people who empower you, encourage you. You must be around people who are energetic, enthusiastic, and people doing the right thing. And I talk about the #1 vitamin, the #1 supplement for any business owner is integrity. I believe in old school marketing, doing the right thing, following through, caring about people, believing in people. So today predicts tomorrow, because a year from now, see, I declared every year I make a declaration, and the 2015 declaration is, 2015 is my year of supernatural, miraculous, forward-moving, faithful listening, systematically applying, unexplainable, miracle-achieving, abundant overflow in my life. An outwardly spoken word instantly detonates inward fear, and a word is a seed. You plant that seed, you move forward. So tomorrow is predictable by today's actions. Like this weekend, my wife, Coach Christy, and I, and some of my top students are flying to Dallas, Texas. I met someone at an event in 2007. Same event that I met you at in 2004, just 3 years later in LA at an event. And this woman was emotionally and financially bankrupt. She's gone on the last 7.5 years to build a multi-million-dollar business. Her name is Dorsey Farkash. They own and operate a company in Dallas, Texas called TW Design. Now, some of you may know Warren Buffett. He's a very wealthy man. He owns a company called Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway. Now, Dorsey's company builds and develops train displays, and they actually built the train display that has every company that Warren Buffett owns on it. Now, this Saturday, we will be there. That's a destination. But we have to prepare weeks in advance. Hotel, airfare, rent a car, where we're staying. You see, when you're in consistent preparation today, preparation today guarantees tomorrow's unexplainable miracle. Now, I want you to write the word down, transformation.
Transformation.
Transformation is defined as a miraculous change in appearance. See, it's not changing location, it's changing who you are within. So whatever you do today is going to show up tomorrow. This is where we have to be real, real transparent and real truthful. Now, what's starting this Thursday is the fourth quarter. October, November, December. Remember, champions train for the 15th round. Champions train for the fourth quarter in sporting events. Champions train for the third period of hockey games. So every single day, whatever you're doing today will show up tomorrow. And it's so important, guys. And that's why when I met you over 11 years ago, I had cassette tapes back then. We had cassette.
Yeah, you sure did.
I was just speaking affirmations. Now, this is my #1 selling book on Amazon. 11 years ago, there wasn't really, Amazon was in business, but really no one was using Amazon yet. I mean, look at the growth. I mean, it's so important to realize that today's decisions predict tomorrow's destination. See, motivation and marketing. See, marketing is a reflection of who you are. That's it. So it's so important to make a decision today for tomorrow's results.
And you have to make the decision, and that's the key word, and we're going to talk about that, because I know when we talk about motivation and marketing, John, decision and commitment, I am imagining, are two big words that we have to consider. Like I was saying back then in the audience, it was great to see you and Ellie Drake and Jeff them on there, but at that time I was like I think I was early 50s and probably 51, 52, and I was like, wow, if they keep telling us that we can change our life, that we can speak it in existence, that means it's not too late for me. And this is what I want to pass on to each and every one of you. It's not too late. As long as you can wake up and get up, do it. Just go for your dream, envision it, and don't look back. But you have to make a decision first that you deserve to have a better life. You deserve to have what you want. And then you have to make the commitment, right, John, to stick and stay. Stick-to-itiveness is huge, because it's going to be good, it's going to be some bad, and you better believe it, it's going to be some darn right ugly. Right, John?
Absolutely. That's why one of the affirmations, affirmation 257 is, I'm speaking victories into existence right now in my life. And you see, words come from three derivatives. Words are derived from Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. And the word now in Hebrew means without further delay. And also the word now it's 3 letters and it's 3 words. Now, want, and own. See, when you make a decision today to own your daily decisions, you've won the battle of how great of the question of, is my future going to be great? And then when you own your day, which all of you do, and when you own your schedule, you've won the battle of how to transform your life. But remember, decisions make champions, and champions make decisions. Now, the word decision in the original Latin means to cut off. The word decision means to cut off. Coach Christie's cranking. So when you, and by the way, real quick, I love the high fives. The high fives are jamming. I wish I could high five you.
I know.
I guys, by the way,
propping it up.
This is my first blab, by the way, which is pretty awesome. I mean,
oh my God! With me, I feel blessed.
This is my first blab. I love it. I absolutely love this, and I believe today that someone around the world today is going to say, today is the day that I changed my future by making a decision. Remember, commitment is proven. Everyone say with me, commitment is proven.
Commitment is proven.
When the enemy of the old me tries to out-talk my decisions today. Meaning commitment is proven when the enemy attacks, which is the old you. That means you have to press on, be persistent. One of my main mentors in my life, my dad is 85 years young. My dad attends all of my events. My dad was out this past weekend at one of my closing and marketing boot camp. My dad is 85, and he's got more energy and enthusiasm than most people I know. I'll tell you right now, for those of you that have already written off your future, nothing will change for you. You have to rewrite your destiny. I tell people right now, every one of you are an author, because an author is a note taker. And guys, the greatest chapter of your life isn't written yet. Start to write it today. Make a decision today. Get committed today.
Awesome. I love it. You know, you talked about book, and you know, John, like I said, I hadn't written a book. Now I have several books. This is the fourth edition of our Careers from the Kitchen Table Business Directory. And what I do, guys, I interview, and people I interview, the top ones are on the cover, and then other people's short stories are in here. So, John, thank you, because you know, these are things that I learned. I've got audio CDs and stuff, and guys, when I seen John because you know my radio journey started when I was 55, and that was in 2006. I met John in 2004, along with some other mentors and masters. So my life took a complete U-turn, and yours can too. It doesn't matter where you are today. It's where you want to go, and making that decision and that commitment. I love what John was talking about, the transformation. You can make a transformation, and it is miraculous when it happens. But here's the thing, you can't get stuck on the how. So talk about that, John, because what I learned is if I focus on what I need to do and where I need to begin, and not so much on the how, I wouldn't get stuck in fear and procrastination. Right. Just make a list of what I need to do and check off, okay, now that I know here's my top 3 or 5 priorities and I'm committed to them, where do I begin? Well, start 1, you have to figure out what the hell is a podcast, because I didn't know. Step 2, who you're going to interview. Step 3, step 4. But when I went into my how, oh my God, John, I got scared. I started procrastinating. I started, the stinking thinking started kicking. Can you kind of talk about that and how that ties into our topic today with, motivating and marketing?
Sure, because too many times the how creates overwhelm. When you're overwhelmed, you're like, well, how am I going to create all this? That's why each and every day, write down 3 to 7 tasks, 3 to 7 action steps you want to accomplish today moving forward. Because too many times when we look at, let's take a look at a company now. I teach from 5 companies in the marketing realm. I teach from Amazon, Home Shopping Network, Disney, Starbucks, and the Ritz-Carlton. Now, the Ritz-Carlton is known for bed bugs, correct?
Yeah.
and everyone laughs when I say that, because you say the Ritz-Carlton, and we think of extreme, amazing customer service. I just did a 3-day boot camp, a marketing boot camp at the Ritz-Carlton 2 weeks ago, and every company, Starbucks, Disney, Home Shopping Network, Amazon, and the Ritz, every company of that iconic, phenomenal level has been built, and everyone write this down, has been built one experience at a time. You realize in life, our business is all built by one decision, one step, 1 second at a time. Just pull the reins back, get focused, get structured, set a 5-year goal long term. I teach the 2 to 5 year success process. I have a very distinct New York accent because I grew up in New York. So all I heard was New Yorkers. And as soon as I open my mouth, it comes out of me. So we have to just slow down and set long-term goals backed up. Everyone say backed up by strategic, systematic, 1 step at a time. And 95% of business success is all from within, because it's not about inventing something new. Now I apologize if I go too strong on my mindset, because I only study billion-dollar companies. I have no time to waste with people who play games. And I'm going to say something to someone today. I believe you guys need to hear this. There was a company called Quirky. Quirky was an invention startup company where they raised close to $170 million looking for the next best invention. Well, guess what? They bankrupt last week. Macy's is closing 40 stores. Barnes & Noble, as an author, I want Barnes & Noble to be in business. We know Barnes & Noble is on the way out. And you take a look at Yahoo versus Google. You take a look at Uber versus the transportation business. You take a look at Amazon versus every other online vendor. What did they simply do? They simply made a decision to serve the customer one experience at a time. So for your how, for what you want to do, start to build today. Take it, now to me, Rocket speed is 1 mile per hour. I teach 1 mile per hour each and every day, because we can't look. See, it's not the next best thing. Uber did not create transportation, and we talked about the 3 marketing words you want to use in all your marketing is dissatisfied, frustrated, and now. I want you guys to write that down. Dissatisfied, frustrated, and now. Because what did Uber do? They satisfied dissatisfied consumers. What did Amazon do? Satisfied dissatisfied consumers and frustrated consumers with the answer now. And that's in another one of the books I published, the 57 must-use words in every piece of marketing you do for your business. Because what you're looking for in business is someone who currently...
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about those too, because I know that's the ebook I believe they can download for free, isn't it,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell them the name of that again.
Sure.
That book.
The title of the book is 57 must-use words in every piece of marketing you do for your business. And where you guys can get the book for free, it's real simple. You can go to freemarketingwords.com. Free marketing words, plural, F-R-E-E, marketingwords.com, and grab the book, an audiobook for free. But you got to realize that every business that is now an iconic business, what did they do? They were simple and focused. Look at, I mean, how many of you used to go to Yahoo? See, when I met you 11 years ago, we were on Yahoo back then. Now everyone's on Google, because Google made it simple. There's one search bar. See, when there's a consumer out there that's dissatisfied, that's frustrated, you give them what they want right now, provide them with extreme customer service, do the right thing, show up on time, follow through, add value, and guess what? You're going to satisfy them. They're going to say, wait a minute, well, this person's a little bit different. They're satisfying me. So then they're going to refer you, and then you're going to lock and load on that person long term. See, marketing is all confident and focus based. And now you create.
I love it. See, you get me excited over here. I want to pick up the phone. I want to pick up the receiver and start selling. That's right. You got me excited over here, John.
And you see, that's why confidence is the most important product you're marketing, and confidence is projected by you. That's why marketing is a relationship. You know, when Howard Schultz was working for Starbucks, and Starbucks let him go, they had 6 stores, and they said, look, Howard, you're too crazy. Then Howard came back and took over Starbucks. And look at today's National Coffee Day, quote unquote. I mean, Starbucks didn't create coffee. Uber didn't create transportation. Amazon didn't create the online purchasing. Home shopping did not create shopping. Guys, for someone out here today, you do not have to create something. Just start marketing with confidence, focus, and get around people. Get around people that are masterminding, who are moving forward. You know, today here in my office, I'm going to have a private mastermind event with 8 of my top students, from $1 million renovation construction company owners, courier company owners, and the transformation is phenomenal. But guys, dissatisfied, frustrated, and now. That's, see, because in marketing, too many people try to convince someone to buy something. Don't convince them, satisfy them. Yeah. Satisfy the frustration, satisfy the dissatisfaction, open up that relationship, engage that relationship, build a relationship long term, and it's awesome. That's why, and I say it humbly, I've been speaking for 15 and a half years, and it's exciting to see Raven and have her share her story from 11 years ago when I met her in Dallas, Texas, and to see the progress of a young lady who's very successful and just warming up. And I love the look, I love the hat, I love the glasses, I love the fire, I love the energy, I love the enthusiasm, and go for it. Guys, we're in the greatest times ever. It just depends who your we is. If you're around people who whine, you know, one of my affirmations is, I don't drink the wine juice. I don't want people who whine around me. So,
oh, I get it. I don't drink the wine juice. Hello. That is so good.
Awesome. Back to you, Raven, because I can go on for days, as you know.
Well, no. You know what? And that's fine, because we're just having a conversation here. I feel so blessed to have you here and to have found you on Scope. I'm telling you, John, I got so excited. I started reaching out to you right away. I think I said, I know you're not going to remember me, but by the time I told you, all the people were like, okay, she had to know me, right? But yeah, but here's the thing. I'm excited, guys, because like John said, I'm just beginning. I'm 64 now, and I feel like I'm in my 30s, really. I'm so fired up. One of your words too, right? Fired up, John.
You gotta be fired.
Fired up about life, fired up about turning the impossible into possibilities because they're there. When I sat in that seat, I remember, John, I don't know if you remember, Ellie Drake did this exercise where she had all of us close our eyes and people were supposed to see colors or angels, different stuff. And I went home in tears because all I seen was darkness. I got so disappointed because I felt like, I said, oh my God, something must be wrong with me because everybody else was sharing what they seen and I seen nothing. I never will forget that day. But you know what? And I did cry and drink the wine juice for a while, but then I decided, I ain't going down like that. And I started buying your tapes, your cassette tapes back then, and books and stuff, and really taking it and soaking it in. So, you guys, if you don't get anything else from this conversation that John and I are having, I want you to get that it doesn't matter where you're at today. It doesn't matter about your age. What does matter, what John talked about, your mindset, making commitment, being willing to transform. And John, that means we got to be willing to do the work, right? We got to really do the work.
Absolutely. We got to be willing to get up each day focused, get up each day excited. I mean, take a look at this live streaming. And I know we got Periscope cranking on our side here, right? And guys, I appreciate all of you on Periscope. I appreciate the high five. I appreciate you following me on Periscope. I love Periscope, and now I love Blab because I just love coming live. And every day, my expectation. See, fear and faith are exactly the same. They're attitudes of expectation. When something else, a few short years ago, I made a quote that said, "Faith stands and fear runs." And I started to speak that. Well, right now, that is a trademark line of ours, and it's an Amazon-approved success apparel line. We have 42 different items with this quote on it. Faith stands and fear runs. And you see, faith, irregardless of what your spiritual beliefs are, quote unquote, the word faith stands for unquestioning belief. Now, a lot of people have unquestioning belief that their life is horrible. And anytime you question, they know, you don't know my past. That's great. Stay there. Then there are people that believe that today is the greatest day of my life. And today, today is the day that I get a multi-million-dollar idea and I just fine-tune something and I satisfy consumer. I move the consumer from frustration to satisfaction. So faith stands and fear runs. And when you stand by faith, that's why when you guys take a look at our logo, faith stands and fear runs, it's like the F and the F and the A and the E are a little crooked because you're going to take some hits in life. You're going to take some smacks, but you're standing. And when you stand strong long term, your miracle will show up. You talk about the impossible is possible for me. That's affirmation 174. And I actually have bracelets that says the impossible is possible for me. It's interesting. We didn't have any conversation before this today, guys. By the way, this is just Raven and I chatting back and forth about success. And the core components, guys, 95% of your business success is all about who you believe you are, who you are around, and how you believe your consumer's life's going to change by getting into a relationship with you long term. But you got to make a decision to move forward. Get away from people. Get stuff out of your home, out of your business. Get organized, get structured, get detailed. Dress for success. I was infamous back then too for getting my nails manicured. I mean, I have a personal manicurist, and my nails are manicured at every event. And I believe in projecting success. I believe in a prosperity mindset. I have a whole book about giving. I believe in tithing and giving. So guys, I want you to realize, today, mid-afternoon Eastern time, early afternoon Pacific time, there's somebody right here listening today, either on Periscope or Blab, that today is the day you say enough is enough and I move forward. I make a decision to change lives, and then I start marketing. You see, marketing is a strategic, systematic relationship building process. And I believe in old school marketing. I believe in outgoing phone calls. I believe in handwritten thank you cards. I believe in serving your past customers. I believe in the marketing realm. Many people have to slow down trying to get new customers and focus on your past customers, build a face-to-face relationship with them, and go out and absolutely transform their lives. I see Monica's on. That's Monica. Monica, I met Monica. Monica's here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Came out to one of my events. I guess now it's 2 weeks today, right, Christy? And I can tell you that was a transforming day for Monica. She walked into one of our events we do, She never heard of me before. She never knew me before, but she walked in because she's searching. See, I'm searching for searchers. I'm looking for lookers. I want people who want more out of life. And when you come in now, 15 and a half years, you walk into a community. I mean, today here in my, I call my office the Millionaire Mentoring Zone. There will be Mark and Carol Smith. 4 years ago, Mark was addicted to pain meds. Mark was 60 years of age 4 years ago. He's now 45 pounds lighter, medication, and they've gone on to do $4 million of business. Your business, guys, look, somebody get this. Pay attention. Somebody get this. Your business is a reflection of who you are. Your confidence, your decision, your commitment, your focus, and your willingness to have no ego. You see, an ego will always shut you down. That's what Yahoo,
Yes.
Yahoo had an ego. Barnes and Noble has an ego. Blockbuster had an ego. Now you look at Netflix, you look at Uber, I don't care what the cabbies do. It's an economic force of satisfaction. When it's an economic force of satisfaction, your consumer responds and your business responds. And that's what you create, an economic force of satisfaction. Now it's on, right? We're going.
I love it. He is fired up. His name is John Lemme, and yes, he's all about creating champions all around the world, just like he told you about Monica and several other people. You guys check him out. John, grab you something to drink. It's time for us just to do a little commercial break, and that means it is time.
Yes, gotta get some kind of glass.
Yeah, to get our money on. Hey.
I love the money glasses.
I'm talking money, y'all, and it starts with motivating up in here all the way to marketing. I'm Raven, the talk show maven, queen.
Awesome, love it.
Of blabbing, because I teach you how to blab and be confident, and with pizzazz, and with authenticity. And queen of interview conversion, because I show you how to get the icons like John, hey, and turn those interviews into a cash machine. Absolutely. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. John and I are excited you're here. We got Alex Mandossian coming up next. Woo!
It's awesome.
All right. Now we're going to get back to some more good information with John.
Yeah, and Raven, I'm sorry, Christy, inside my main fake stands bag is my glasses back there. Because you got those glasses. I'm world famous for our glasses and the hats we have at our events.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to have my money glasses.
I love it.
Yeah. Wow, you said some amazing things, and just looking at the comments that people wrote. John, let's talk about, because you talked about just showing up, and you are your business, and I always like to speak to my audience about that, because most of my clients, I'm sure yours is the same way, John, they get so stuck in the head because numbers are important, but they're so focused on what they don't have in numbers. I mean, we have a small group here, but John and I are showing up 200%, not 100%, 200%, because those of you that came deserve to hear the best. And I really love if you could talk to this, John, because so many people are stuck on what they don't have and they never move forward. I'm saying forget the numbers. It's your heartfelt message. It's getting out what you want to get out to the world. Don't wait to be great. Do it now. The numbers will come. You just keep showing up. They knock you down, boom, show up. One person there, boom, show up. Two people there, show up. What do you guys say about that?
I mean, it's all about a life. At Amazon, one time Amazon.com, when Amazon went live, they had their first customer. When Uber's app went live, they had their first passenger. We all want to build $1 billion business, but we forget every $1 billion business begins with the first step and the first process. And when you move forward at 1 mile per hour and you're transparent and you're truthful and you have no ego and you stop defending bad decisions and release those bad decisions. Here we go. You ready? Fired up. Here we go, Raven. It's on. 2015. What this is, the 2015 flashing glasses.
I love it. Oh my God.
It's on.
Okay,
First,
John,
we're still live, guys. Glasses are awesome. 2015 is the greatest year ever.
Oh my God, that is so awesome. You rock.
And then you got to shake some money in your head too. You got to shake. That's awesome.
Oh my God, great minds think alike.
That's right. All right. So they got the glasses. They're awesome.
Oh my God, I love it. You got the glitter. Now, you know a woman loves her glitter. You know that, John. You know a woman loves her glitter.
I have another book that
you know that, right?
yeah, I have another book I've written called 31 Attitudes of a Self-Made Millionaire. And one of the attitudes is fun. You know, fear, guys, I believe today, someone's going to get a hold of this. Fear hates fun. You see, when you're free, you have fun. When you're free, you have enjoyment. Now, if you're not joyful in your own life, how can you be joyful to a customer? How can you create a memorable experience? You know, the Ritz-Carlton is based upon first and last impression. First impression, last impression. And remember, you are your product. That's why, you know, lowering prices really is not the way to build a business. Just ask Sears and Radio Shack. Sears and Radio Shack lowered prices. It didn't generate revenue. Revenue is generated by relationships, and your relationships are built by your confidence. So guys, move forward. And hey, get away from people that are negative and who are stealing your dreams. Remove them. See, remove them and replace them. Just like you have to renovate a piece of real estate to increase the value, you have to renovate your mind, renovate your relationships, renovate your business, and your numbers will go through the roof. Because your numbers are just a reflection. But it's awesome. You got to have fun. You got
to have fun. And you know what? Speaking of fun, John, let's talk about this real quick, and then I'm going to open up the seats for some questions, because your thing is telling people how motivating and marketing goes together. So if you could clarify with the ones that just came, just in case we missed it at the beginning, why does motivating and marketing go together, and what's your 3 best strategies for that?
See, motivation is internal, marketing is external. Motivation, nobody sees, no one sees the foundation. Like wherever you're sitting in your office there in California, I can't see the cement structure you're sitting on, but by faith, you came in, sat in your chair, and you know for a fact that that foundation is in place. So the top 3 closing strategies when it comes to marketing, number 1 is believe you're worthy. Believe you're worthy of opening up a rock solid relationship with a new client today and reinforcing relationships with past clients. The second closing strategy is never prejudge a potential client. Never prejudge the potential. I'm looking today, to me, I've spoken in front of tens of thousands of people. I've done events where there's one person. To me, it's not quantity, it's quality. So never prejudge. Never prejudge your client's potential. Never ever say to yourself, well, I want more people, I need more people, it's one person at a time. And number 3, become a record breaker. Take a look at Roger Bannister. 1954, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. And after he broke the 4-minute mile, within 3 years, 20 plus people did it. What happened? Shoes didn't change. The track and field experts didn't change. What changed? The mind believed it was possible. So when you believe in yourself, never prejudge a client, and become a record breaker. Make a decision that going forward, today I'm going to do more in my life than I've ever done. I'm going to produce a better relationship. I'm going to go beyond the call of duty. I know today, ask yourself, and I teach all this about surprise bonuses. Ask yourself, what can you do for your client? What surprise bonus can I add value to someone's life? What can I do to increase someone's life? And then every single day, stay within your community. Build a community of champions. Build a community of clients. And remove yourself from toxicity, remove yourself from negative people, and get around the right people. That's why also be careful who you follow on Periscope. Some people on Periscope.
Amen to that. Yeah,
really. Just trying to pitch away. You know, I did a whole scope when I first began, where a lot of the online, oh, I don't like Periscope. You don't like Periscope because you want to pitch, you want to sell. I love Periscope because I love to go live. I've done Periscopes in the gym. I've done Periscopes out in the palm trees in my back of my house, and I've done Periscopes with my mom and dad. My mom's 84, my dad's 85. A little side note, I'm supposedly a successful speaker, coach, mentor, trainer. My number 1 watch Periscope was my mom and dad's interview. My dad's 85, my mom's 84. That's why I love scoping, guys, and I love being real with people. So that's kind of a quick 3 strategies there, quickly.
No, I love that. But John, you just said something that I can't let go by. Did you just say you interviewed your mom and dad?
Yep. My dad's 85, my mom's 84. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you did that, because that you mentioned that, because I'm known for sharing with everyone, because I've interviewed, Oscar winner Lou Gossett Jr., now you, Alex Mandossian, lots of greats, Russell Simmons and more. And but the interview that I did not get was my mom. She's gone. My dad passed away years before in radio, but it was because of my mom that I got into radio business when she was in the hospital, and she was in the ICU unit. And that's when my God spoke to me and said, use your power, your voice, use your listening skills, and go change your life so you can change your mom's, because you're not making enough. You're making $10 an hour, working 20 hours a week. You can't help yourself. So you're going to have to do something huge and impactful. And so that's how my story started. And I tell people all the time, interview your moms, interview your dads, interview your kids, let your kids interview you. You'll be so glad you did, because I cry many a night. So thanks for saying that. I mean, I'm so happy. My heart is happy to know that you do that. And I hope everyone, if your parents are living, you do that, and have your kids interview you too. Now, John, we're going to open up the seats, but before we do, I want you to, if you can, share with us. Let's talk strictly marketing now. Okay, you gave us some great tips, but let's talk about marketing. Again, we push the numbers aside. You heard John say it, I say it. Don't worry about where you are now. Your focus is too much on where you are now, and it should be on. I always act like trillions of people are listening to me. I always do. It could be one person. As long as I can hit that record button, I got a product, right, John? Right. And we don't have to worry about cassette tapes no more. We got an easy breezy product. So can you kind of give some good marketing tips that people can walk away with, not tomorrow, but today, to start, implementing? And then we're going to open up some seats for some questions. How about that?
I'll give you guys real simple marketing tips. Pay attention to your client. Actively listen to them. When you're in front of them, put your smartphone down. Pay attention to them. Give them the Ritz-Carlton attention-grabbing mindset. Pay attention to them. Listen to them. Hear what they want to say. Let them talk more. You talk less. Give them a great value. Give them a great bonus today. Tell them, I appreciate you as a customer. I would like to give you a special surprise bonus today. Add value to people's lives. Pick up the phone, call some of your past customers and go, I appreciate you doing business with whatever your company is. I would like to offer you as a past customer, absolutely free, give them a special bonus. For those of you that are in sales and marketing, that have a marketing route for your business, go out and see your customers. Do something personal. I'm about to release my 24th book titled The ABCs of Millionaire Marketing, and the P in the ABCs is personal touch. We have to go back to old school. Yes, texts are awesome, voicemails are great. Go see people, give a personal touch. Absolutely. Pick up the phone, a personal touch. Yeah. And then also, guys, another major marketing thing is realize you're not in an industry, you're in an individual business, because everything you're in has to do with individuals. Look at BlackBerry versus Apple. BlackBerry thought that their keypad was worth more than what the individual wanted. So you give people what they want, and you focus on the individual, not the industry. And then build strategically, build professional, and build at 1 mile per hour, which is rocket speed. And do not lower your prices, increase your value. And guys, you can write this down. Create value that exceeds price. Realize how much the person's life will change when you engage in your product or services. And also, 2 more words you can use, and I'll throw it back to you, Raven. Today in your business, go out, look at your current clients, customers, patients, consumers, etc., and say to them, and use the word, based upon what I hear you saying that you want to achieve, based upon hearing what I know you want to get out of life, or based upon what I know you want to do in your life, this is what I suggest. I put together a customized product for you, product offer, and I highly recommend and I highly suggest for you that today this is the great offer for you. Use the word recommendation, suggestion, personalize it, actively listen. And remember, you're not in sales, you're in marketing. Marketing is opening up relationship. See, marketing, and you guys can write this down and I'll throw it back to you, Raven. Marketing is relationship based. Sales is transaction based. Marketing is about creating relationships long term. Sales is about hitting a quota and looking at people as a number. We are in the business of opening relationships. Business is all about relationships. Always be opening, always be opening, always be opening. make the right recommendations, the right suggestions, the right offers, the right value, and guess what, guys? You own your future. Back to you, Rick.
Yes, you do. Oh my God, that's so amazing. And you know the thing about it, John, that message, you've been speaking that message for a while. It hasn't changed. I'm sure you updated and you
Sure.
tweeted things to make it to where, it fits in today's world. But those things, people have been saying that for years. Give your best. It's all about your customer service. Give stuff away for free. We're so worried about selling stuff. Give us something for free. Let them get to know you and like you and know your worth. And then you can make them an offer. So that's just amazing. We're going to open up the seats now. John, I just want to say this has been amazing. Before we take the Q&A, can you kind of tell us a little bit more about your wall?
Sure.
Behind you? And if you can point a couple things out, feel free.
Sure. This is called the Wall of Fame. And I coach all my students to have this in their business. Just behind me here is one of my students, Dr. Krista Kamensky. She met me 5.5 years ago at a seminar. She was 2 months behind in rent. She's a chiropractor, a nutritionist, acupuncturist. She's now published 1 book. She's going to publish a 2nd book. And now she was seeing about 20 patients a week. She now sees about 220 patients a week. So her business has exploded.
Wow.
Then behind me here is John and Kristen Adolfi. They were here this weekend, and so was Dr. Christie here this weekend. Chris is from Florida. John's from upstate New York. John met me 5.5 years ago. John's been in real estate for 26 years. Now, what I'm about to say is true. I know Monica's on here live, and she will give thumbs up. She met John this weekend for the first time, and she knows it's real. She had lunch with him at our mastermind lunch. John, this month of September, his gross commissions was $83,000 in 1 month. And when he first met me, he was averaging $3,000 to $4,000 a month for 25 years. So what's behind me are transformational stories of real people, just like everyone listening. So Wall of Fame is all testimony. Then there's, real quick, there's Hallie from Ohio, who's been direct selling for 25 years. She heard me on a radio interview like this about 3.5 years ago. Actually, someone she knows heard me, then that person referred Hallie to me. Hallie's business this month in network marketing, she's done more volume in 1 month than she was doing in almost 3 years combined. She's about to hire a personal assistant. So I'm all about recognizing champions that have transformed their life. So behind me is and it's all throughout my whole office, is framed testimonials of real people with real results. That's what it's about, guys. And make sure you're around people that have real testimonials of what you want to achieve. The testimonials drive businesses. Back to you, Raven.
Well, first of all, I want to applaud you for, just having a wall of real people. They're not celebrities. These are real people that he's worked with and have took them from where they were to the results he just talked about. So that's great. And that wall looks really good, and you're sitting there in front of it. It's amazing because it tells a story. It tells a story of your work. Now, is Chrissy there? Because I wonder, is she camera ready? Can she pop her head in?
Coach Chrissy said she's not camera ready. She won't be.
Okay, I get it. Look, us women, we get that, Chrissy. I get it. So let's open up the seats, guys. We have a couple minutes for some questions. So I know, Jamie, you were trying to get in earlier. I don't know what happened. I was clicking you. Come on in. You guys got a couple minutes to talk to John. Take advantage of him. He has an awesome mastermind. He's a great mentor. You heard me. I mean, I got totally excited when I seen him on Periscope. I couldn't believe that I ran across him. It had been so many years. And, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's still doing this. And he's still amazing. So, Reverend Noreen, how you doing?
Hi, John. I just wanted to say to you that you have sparked something in me that is absolutely phenomenal. When you said about the affirmations, I wrote on the side, and I just said it this Sunday, is to decree, declare, and then denounce. So, you know what? I said, I need to see you now. But I thank you. I'm at work, but powerful. You don't know. I don't know what anybody else thinks. But between you and Raven, I'm telling you, I'm going to another level now.
Excellent.
So I just appreciate the opportunity to meet you and to let you know and to let Raven know that this has truly changed my life. I
Excellent.
thank
It's
you.
the power of the words, girl. It's the power of
I
the
tell you.
words, you know. And isn't it, you know, John said it so clearly, it's so true. You know, we just think we're just talking away, but we have to be so careful, Reverend Noreen, at what comes out of our mouths, you know, and we have to, John brought it up a couple times about we have to really feel like we deserve it.
Yes.
Because when we feel like we deserve it, we're kind of owning it, aren't we, John?
Absolutely. Every word you say is going to show up in your future. Every word's a seed. So everything you're saying. Actually, one of my books, I tell people to record every word that comes out of your mouth for an entire day. Get it transcribed. That's your future. Because words are power. Words are invisible, yet words are everything. I mean, words are the key. We all know, those of you of the Judeo-Christian faith know that death and life are in the power of your tongue. So what you speak. So, you know, because we all know people that don't talk a lot, and they're like, I like that person. They don't say anything. You like them because they're quiet. So, and every word they say is powerful. So it's so important, guys, to own your future by owning your words today and decreeing and declaring. I decree and declare today is the greatest day of my life, and tomorrow is huge.
Absolutely. So I appreciate your wisdom, and the way that you had articulated the empowerment that you have put across on this blab on today. So I thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Raven, so much for the content.
Let me ask you one thing, Reverend Noreen, because I really want to push you into your power, because you can see what an incredible man is. And one thing I do love about Blab, and since I'm able to get these top experts on, I do it more for me too, but more for you guys. So I want you to just take a moment. We're going to go to Mary. Don't go nowhere. I want you to take a moment and write down the first question that comes to your mind. You got this millionaire here. Ask him a question. Write it down. Okay. I'm not going to let you leave. So think about that. Mary, it's on you. Hey, Omar, welcome.
And then Raven, I'm gonna be back in 10 seconds.
Okay.
I'm gonna get myself another.
Okay, go ahead. So while we're waiting on him, Mary, you hold up. I want Reverend Noreen to write her question down. Hey, Omar, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks, Jamie, for sharing. Telling a little bird. Everybody here, if you don't mind, tell a little bird. We got a few more minutes with John, and then Alex Mandossian's coming on. So let's see if we can get some more people in the house. Go get John's book. Christy, if you're still there, do you mind writing in the link so they can get the free book? Thanks for sharing, Omar. Thanks for the props, everybody. And for all of you on Periscope and Blab that are here live, thank you so much for showing up. And for those of you listening to the replay, go back and listen to it again. Omar, I know you just got here, probably just getting back from work. You're going to this is one, my friend, you're going to definitely want to stay tuned and listen to the replay. And you guys, don't forget, you can catch my show, Rock Your Interview Talk, in the morning. Rock Your Interview Talk. And we at 7 a.m. Pacific. You can also go and get your free copy of my Icon Interview Formula. You can go to amazingwomenofpower.com, or now you can go to text. You can text 63975 and then message, put Talk Show Maven, and you'll get my Icon Interview Formula for free. It'll show you how to basically investigate, connect, own, and get to the nitty gritty. My Icon Formula for getting top experts like John. So John is back. Noreen, how you coming with your question?
I'm good.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question, and then we'll let you go and someone else get in the seat, and we'll do Mary, and then we'll wrap it up. So what is your question you want to ask John?
My question to John is how can I move my my devotional the way that you did? Can you just give me a little bit about when you wrote the 365-day affirmation book?
Sure.
I have some devotion published, but I don't know how to begin and how big it should be.
Well, first off, take the but out, because but's always get in the way of miracles.
Oh.
Because you said, I want to publish it, but. So take the word but out and publish it. Just do it.
Doesn't matter how big or how small. It just needs to be published.
Does not make a difference at all, because right now it's in you, and your first book and your first publication is the key. And also what the key too is as you're speaking, sometimes, because all of my books are transcriptions of messages and are edited. So as you're presenting or speaking one day, just get it, transcribed, just speak into it, get it transcribed, and get it edited, and get it published, and go for it. Just get it done. And if I was coaching you, I'd have you write down, what are you doing today to move forward? What did you do today? And don't ask, this is very important, guys. Don't ask anybody who's never been the way you want to go how to get there. Don't ask any friends. Now, I don't know, you guys may be different, but I come from a very dysfunctional family. My mom and dad are awesome, but we have some dysfunctional people in our lives.
Got it.
Too many times in life, we ask dysfunctional people how to function our life.
You're kind of fading out a little bit, John. I don't know if it's your mic or what. You kind of faded away. Was that a big help to you, Noreen?
Yes, it was, and I appreciate it.
I kind of edged you on to do that. Because it was important. Something told me, you need to ask a question. Because, guys, this is very important. When you show up on Blab, this is the difference. Come on back, Mary. This is the difference from being on Periscope. You're actually here, and I see why you love it, John. This is absolutely wonderful. I love Blab. Because now you have an opportunity. You're right here in the studio seat. And the mentor, the master, the millionaires, the people that we bring on, the icons, they're there, right? And so we can read their books and we can listen to their takes, which we should do. So make sure you get both of his books.
I am.
But also to have the opportunity to actually ask them their question and hear the answer. And this will be on recording just for you. Mwah. How about that?
I love you. Thank you so much, John. Thank you for the nuggets, and I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Okay, we got time for one more question. And John, thank you for being honest with her, because you take your business serious, and we have to, guys. We're on a powerful platform. We're able to really get serious about this, and for someone to just kind of candy coat you and give you a fluff answer helps you. It doesn't help you at all. It takes you nowhere, right, John?
And absolutely. Can I show you my new hat? See my hat here? It says Happy New Year. See that? Meaning
you got more toys than me. I need to go shopping with you and Kristen.
Every single day is a new year. I wake up every day declaring that today's a new year.
Yeah.
Every day is the beginning of, not just New Year's Eve, every day is the beginning of a new year. So it's so important.
Awesome. That's amazing. Gail, welcome back. I seen you on my Rock Your Interview talk show.
Yeah, how you doing? Hi, John.
Doing good. Are you loving this? Is this being hot or not?
I am absolutely loving this. I've got to tell you something, John. I met you for the first time, I think it was like back in 2006. It was in Atlanta. You had Jerry Clark and Stephen Pierce. It was a ton of people there.
Oh, yeah.
It was so crazy. It was the first time my son and I had ever driven from Maryland to Atlanta. We had never done that before. So we came, we saw you, we got a bunch of audios, and it was just phenomenal. So I'm glad to see that what you are doing and you're still out there.
Oh, yeah.
And my question for you is this. Everything starts with the mindset. And I know a number of people who are highly successful. They have daily habits, because all of us have habits. Some of our habits are not great and put us where we don't want to be, and some of them of highly successful people, they have habits too. So what is your daily habit that could benefit us and to help? If I'm going to emulate you, for instance,
Sure.
What would I be doing every day, especially from a mindset perspective?
That's a great question.
When I first met Raven in 2004 and I met Gail in 2006, what you guys did not know is every morning, keyword is every morning, I do 1 to 3 hours of self-development. Private preparation. You guys, you write this down, buckle your seatbelts, get ready. Private preparation predicts public miracles. When you prepare your mind privately, you prepare your marketing publicly. Every single morning, my habit, now remember the word habit is defined as a behavior pattern, a pattern of the way you behave. So every morning, wake up, I suggest to grab a fresh glass of water and some live food. I believe getting healthy physically and getting healthy emotionally. And every morning, private preparation, grab one of Raven's books and grab one of my books. You guys got the affirmation book. You got it for free today. And read these affirmations out loud every morning, and you can have more energy, more enthusiasm. Don't wake up and jump on your computer or start to text or start to make business calls. Every morning, like this right here, the affirmations, there's 4,228 words. I guarantee you, every one of my millionaire students, every morning, everyone on the wall here, every morning they say these words out loud, and it empowers them, it encourages them, and it gets their mind moving forward. It gets their mind going forward every day. So every morning, self-development is the key. So crucial. That's a key component. That is the key component that I did it in 2004, did it in 2006. You saw me, I did it this morning. Every morning, because when I overcame stammering, because stammering was just an outward representation of inward fear. And I overcame stammering when I got introduced to Think and Grow Rich back in 1990. And I earned my first million in direct selling from 1990 to 1998. And then I went on to high-end business consulting and speaking and teaching when I first launched my company way back when in 2001. But it's that morning preparation. I cannot stress that. You ask any of if I had some of my students come on today on the seat, they would tell you, I built $1 million business because of my morning preparation. Back to you. You're awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate it. And yes, I'm one of those people that I get up. Unfortunately, my phone is my alarm. So I see, look at the alarm, and then I immediately start looking at my messages. And
we have
so stop.
It's got to be stopped today. I'm telling you that your net worth publicly is what you get your net worth privately. I mean, there's no, just test me on this. But in the next 91 days of this year, in the next 91 days of this year, I know I will do at least 184 hours of uninterrupted, focused self-development, which is impossible not to build the faith to make a phone call, produce a product, build your business, think outside the box, and create creativity. So you cannot, sometimes I call the smartphones distraction phones.
Yeah.
So you're awesome. You're on here, Gail, the greatest years of life. And I look forward to seeing you driving down from Maryland to one of our events now in Florida.
Okay, super. That works. Hey, we're doing it in the winter time. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gail. Hopefully,
all right. Thanks, Raven.
Talk. Hey, guys, this is John Lemme, and he is just amazing. I want to play something for you. Let me see if I can get it to play. Hold on one second. Hold on. Give me 1 second, and we're going to see if we can get him. Let's see here. Hold on. John, why don't you tell them about your next event while I'm getting this together?
Guys, we have, as Raven said, she met me in Texas, and Gail said she met me in Atlanta. For 10 years of our business, we traveled all around the world. Now what we do is we do events almost every other weekend here in South Florida, and I do private mastermind events. I limit them to 30 champions, roundtable workshop. They begin 11 a.m. and they go to 7 p.m. Catered lunches included from 2 to 3. It's what we're known for, our intense workshops. And for you guys that want to know more about me, you guys can very simply go to my main website. And here's a little marketing tip. And here's my website. It's www.findjohnd.com. Findjohnd.com. And you'll see on there, and you guys can submit your name and email, and you get a boatload of bonuses from me, a bunch of my marketing motivational teaching. And then you'll see our schedule of events. I have a major mastermind event coming up next week on October 9th and October 10th. And then I have an event October 23rd, October 24th, which is only once a year. I do a 2-day event about how to find your why now from one of my books. So we got events. We just finished an event this past weekend, a closing and marketing boot camp. So we got events going on all the time. Definitely go out to www.findjohnd.com, findjohnd.com, and you guys, that will take you out to my main website, and you see all the good stuff there.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap it up. I got one thing I want to show you guys. Mary's going to, she's going to ask one quick question, then we're going to wrap it up. But let me see if I can bring this on. I've got something that I found on his site today that I thought would be real interesting for you guys to see. So let's see what happens. Let's see.
Oh yeah. What you're doing is awesome.
overcoming procrastination, of destroying industry, of building very successful businesses. You're going to hear from real people, doctors, lawyers, small business owners. So not to waste any more of your precious time, I want to get right to the point. Continue watching the video. See the real people, real stories, real results, and then simply submit your name and email to receive that proven and contest and motivational marketing team that I know will truly impact your life. And I look forward to seeing you featured on one of my upcoming testimonial videos of real people with real results. Go for it, with your name and email. Grab a hold of the teaching free. Now enjoy the real stories of real people.
I'm Dennis Motion for John Lemme. My business has grown exponentially. I mean, truthfully. The average person in this area makes $38,000 to $42,000 a year. My income is right around that, more or less, for the last 5 years. In the last 4.5 years, that income has quadrupled and quintupled. Another way of gauging how John changed my business is in the amount of listings that we have on file. Now, before coaching, I would have anywhere between 6 to 10 listings, which means I had 6 to 10 clients who I was trying to sell their house. Well, after coaching, now I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50. Now, some of you out there who are hot shots at listing may say, well, John, I have more than that. Well, congratulations, number one. But here's the irony of it. I did not solicit one of them. You know what it's like in order to get listed. You got to go after it. You got to be aggressive. You got to go after it for sale by owners. I didn't do any of those. Those listings that I currently have right now are listings that I never solicited, never went looking for. They are listings that came as a result of the coaching that John and I have been doing for the last 10 years.
That is awesome. Love this.
I was trying every online, SEO, every any kind of possible trying to help generate. Literally at the point prior to self-development, prior to my coaching, I was doing too much on my head. When I first met John, literally, I was talking to our corporate lawyer about John and he said he had us in his file for bankruptcy. It lived through 2001. We're in the kind of business where we had over $2 million of business coming in, and it stopped. There was no traveling, there was nothing going on, so it just stopped. So really, we were in the process of crumbling. John made a tremendous impact on me when I first met him at the seminar in LA. His teaching, his strategies to live the life that he does, live the business that he creates, is based on his organization and his strategy. And I am in awe of that. And it's not like me. He does it every day, every second of it.
All right, everyone. I just wanted to share that with you. I mean, I seen it. I thought it was great. And I was like, oh, my God, I have got to share this with you guys. So I hope you appreciate it. Go check his book out. He can take you, not just your business, he can take your life to the next level. Sometimes we're so focused on moving forward with our business. But, guys, it starts with our mindset and changing our life. We get all these things I call life happenings, accidents, death, sickness, and stuff like that. When you change your life and you change your power, your words, and your thinking, you'll find that, there's no way around life happenings, but you'll see that you're not having all these terrible things happen to you all the time. John, isn't that true? Because I remember a long time ago, it was like I got so used to the bad that I was inviting the bad. I didn't get that till I seen The Secret. As we close out, can you speak on that just a little bit, maybe about a minute? Because I think that's important for people to really realize,
Sure, that's the expectation mindset. Right? Like as I hear Gail's story, when Gail's met me back in 2006, and she knows that the core fundamentals of what I've been teaching. And what's interesting, when you show that video, I just said to my wife, Coach Christy, we have to update those testimonials because John Dolphy, Dr. Krista, and Dorsey Forecast, who you all saw in those first 3 testimonials, those testimonials are miraculous, yet they're outdated. the stories are even huger now. See, it's so important, guys. And you're 1,000% right. Everyone focuses so much on business and marketing, but marketing is just an outward expression of what we do. We have to get our mindset straight first, and then build our business at the 1 mile per hour, structured, focused level. And that's why it's so important, guys. Motivation plus marketing. But you're at the right place at the right time. To recap the message, go back up to your birthday. I know for a fact you're born a champion, and I know that however you got directed to this blog today, you're on the right path. You just have to get ready to get out of your comfort zone, get ready to be challenged, and get ready for someone to stop the butts and start moving forward. But with that said, Raven, back to you. You're awesome. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, thank you, John. We're getting ready to wrap it up, and he showed you. Yes, he did. He showed you how to get to the money. Where's your glasses at, John?
Right here. Put them
All
on.
right.
Line them up.
Okay, on your feet. I already warned you. We got to dance it off. Come on, dance with me.
I got to dance with you. I got to dance with Raven on Periscope. I got to take a picture.
Hey, money. If you guys enjoyed John, give him some props. I'll start it. Let's prop him, honey.
What's up?
All right, guys. John Dilemma, he's all about firing you up. Get fired up about life, fired up about business. Be the champion that you know you deserve to be. Unleash that championship inside of you. Go check him out. Let me give you his book link one more time. Start affirming what you want in your life. I'm Raven, the Talk Show Maven. Hey, John, thank you so much. You are all that and then some. We so appreciate you joining us today. And wow, let me just say, you look the same. I don't think you've aged at all.
Younger by the day.
I got it, John. John, we'll have to have you back. Thank you so much from my heart.
Thank you very much. You're awesome, guys. Thank you.
Christy is amazing. See you later, John. Bye, Christy.
Bye.
Hey, guys, we are waiting for Alex Mandossian. That was John Dilemma. Check him out. Get his book. And Alex should be joining us soon. So anybody want to jump in the hot seat and ask a question or anything about interviewing or anything, jump on in. We got a couple more minutes. I'm fanning because it's hot as heck in here. Let me see. Omar, Mary, who else we have? Gail, Monica, Rena D, Erica, Reverend Noreen, and John. If everybody doesn't mind, let's all hit the little bird I just did, and let's share the little bird, tell a little bird, whatever it is. We got Alex coming up next. You guys are going to have this recording to go back and listen to all those golden nuggets that John shared. It all starts with the mindset. That is no joke. Really, wow. Reverend Noreen says, wow. Let me see. Alex is going to be talking about push button influence, and you're going to love that. This is a new concept that he is marketing and talking about now, and so you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. All this stuff has to do with new marketing. So hey, Monica, we got time for Monica while we're waiting on Alex. Alex Mandossian just came in. Okay. So we're going to take Monica real quick. Monica, we got 1 minute. And then Alex is here. How you doing? I'm hot as heck.
Hi. Just wanted to say hello from West Palm Beach. This is my first time being on, actually, at the event that John Dilemma did this weekend. It was totally life-changing. The one thing that I would say that comes to the top of my mind, and I wasn't camera ready to hop on when John was on, was he said, stop focusing on being industry specific and focus on your clients. When you focus on the client and really listen to what it is they need and find a way to deliver that, you are definitely on your way. So I'm just focused now to be able to coach with John Dilemma. I know that he is from this day forward going to be my coach and my mentor, and I'm not even looking at anybody else on planet Earth other than John right here in West Palm Beach. So it was an awesome interview, and I'm definitely going to listen again.
Well, thank you for coming on. I'm sorry, but he didn't get a chance to hear it, but thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you, girl. I'm following you, so we'll be talking to you soon. We're going to get ready for Alex. Stay tuned. You're going to love Alex. You may change your mind after you hear this man. Okay. There's room for two. Let me just say that. This is my mentor. I'm excited. You're going to see me jump up and down like a little kid now. Okay. Thank you. All right. Woohoo. Alex is in the house. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Let me get my periscopers on. Hi, Alex.
How you doing? Listen, don't build me up too much before my lips start talking. Let me earn my keep, okay?
I know. You know I have a hard time with that, Alex.
I know. I don't mind that you have a hard time, but I wish you could talk to my mom more often. That would.
You know, that's a hard one. I'm working on that one. But it's too late. Anybody that knows me, they already know about you. You're my brother from another mother.
I know. You're my sister from another mister.
I know. Okay, so Alex is in the house. Hello, everyone. Let's go ahead and tell a little bird that Alex is in the house. I'm gonna wet my whistle. I'm gonna bring them on. Alex, we always start our show with a little music. You know me. I love to dance.
Oh, that's cool.
So we got to bring you on properly. So let me make sure. Oh, I got everything I need. Okay, guys. So we're going to just start. We're going to go ahead, and this is a new recording. We're going to leave it on. I'm going to bring my periscopers on and get our dancing shoes on because it is time. All righty. It's time for Alex Mandossian. He is in the house. Hey. Hey. All right, everyone. All right. Hey.
Wow.
This is Raven, the TalkShowMaven. Hey, recently crowned by my listeners as the Queen of Blab.
Whoa.
I show you how to blab it up with confidence, enthusiasm, pizzazz, and sprinkle it with some amazing interviews of the icons, just like him, Alex Mandossian. Oh. And then I show you how to turn it into a cash machine. Can you say ka-ching, ka-ching? Oh, yeah. So you can feel the money. Hey, this is the interview shuffle. All righty. Woo. Hey. All right. Welcome, everybody. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm Raven, the TalkShowMaven, known by many as the Queen of Blab and the Queen of Interview Conversion, because I show you how to blab it up, and then I show you how to sprinkle some dynamic interviews with that and make you some money, 6 figures and more, blabbing it up with the icon interviews. Yeah, that's me. And this is Alex Mandossian. So everybody get ready. Let's see, did we tell a little bird? We sure did. Let me bring him on properly. So Alex Mandossian, what can I say about this man? First of all, you guys have heard my stories. We're not going to go there. But I heard a great man by the name of Alex Mandossian tell me once that the quickest way to become an expert is to interview them. I'm like, duh, I can do that. So you guys wondering, you always complimented me about my interviews. I learned from the best. Thank you, Alex. But he's so much more than that. He is a master marketer. Yes, he is. He will teach you so much about marketing. It's pathetic. Let me see. He does Google Hangout. He does Periscope now. He does Blab now. He does so much. And he started with the teleseminar secrets, but he doesn't do that anymore. But that ran his course and people learned teleseminars like me. But I decided, okay, I'm going to do this thing called podcast. And I just hooked my wagon to him. He's been my #1 mentor. Oh my God, he has taught everybody or worked with everybody. Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, he's interviewed everybody. Enough about that already. I want him to come on and share a little of his story. And then we're going to talk about push button influence. I love that. Yeah. So first of all, if you're standing, sit down. If you're sitting, stand up. Because the man of the hour is here. Alex, hi.
No, I can't fulfill the promises that you make. I mean, I don't have introductions like that from anybody. I wish my mom was listening and watching, as I said. And, you know, one of the most important things that we do is interview. Now, Napoleon Hill did it with 500 men and women, mostly men at that day. But today, I interview more women than men, I think, because they're a little bit smarter. Secondly, and I'm not just kissing up to you, it's true. And the second and most important thing is you'll learn more in an interview than you would just having a conversation. So I love interviews for really two reasons: the rapport that you build with the person you're interviewing and serving, and also what you learn in real time and what you're teaching others. And so I'm happy and honored to be interviewed by you here. I don't know what direction we'll go. I know what the topic's going to be. And there's always a few Alexisms or tidbits that just come from me, and I'm hoping that we'll sprinkle some of that dew and magic here today.
Yeah, those Alex misms or isms. What did they say? Alex is so great. You guys are going to love him. So we're going to just speak from the heart. He's got this new thing that he's talking about. There's buzz all around it. It's called push button influence. So we're going to slowly get into that. But first, I want you to hear just a little bit of your story. You know, a lot of people know you, Alex. A lot of people don't. So can you kind of give us just a clip note version of where you came from and how you got there?
Sure. Well, I grew up in a little 1,200 square foot home, which if you're overseas, that's small. It was 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 4 people: George, Carol, my parents, Talene, my sister, and Alex. And the architect of this home wasn't very smart, because whoever it was, they built the bathroom right out of the kitchen where we ate. So that's what I grew up with for the first 12 years of my life. It was in Pasadena, California. And actually, Einstein lived about a few streets down 50 years before. So that's the only thing I can say that I'm extremely proud of. But I didn't come from an entrepreneur family. My mother's a teacher. My dad was a teacher. My sister now is a teacher. She has a master's and a teaching degree. My brother-in-law is a teacher. Both grandparents on both sides were teachers. And so I've always had the blood, and I've always had the DNA, and the root of my knowledge has all been in teaching. But I'm the only one who's made a lot of money teaching, and that's because I believe I'm a teacher of teachers. I'm a trainer. That's what I call myself. And so just growing up, I didn't have any role models for entrepreneurs. I didn't grow up in poverty, but I would say, low middle class, as far as the amount of money that was surrounding us. And, I was loved by my parents. I'm bilingual. I speak Armenian and English, and I can swear in 4 languages fluently, But the most important thing that happened to me is my first business venture, which was just after I graduated from college. I went to UC Irvine in Orange County. I got 2 degrees. And the most important lesson I learned is losing over $250,000, most of it not mine. Came from my grandparents, my parents. They all threw money at me, and I tried to open up a frozen yogurt and bakery in Long Beach, California. It was right at the opening of a Vons supermarket, which in Southern and Northern California, that's where, a lot of people go and shop, but no one happened to come into my frozen yogurt store. And so after 18 months, I was out of business, and it was my first gig. So not only was I out of business, but I didn't have any friends. I was deeply in debt. The SBA, Small Business Administration, had a hitman after me. And my mom's house was going into foreclosure. And so on the way back home from Long Beach to Pasadena, at the time, my girlfriend kicked me out because I got kicked out of my apartment. I couldn't afford it. This is in my 20s. And my girlfriend kicked me out because she didn't want to be around me. So now I'm going home to live back with Mom. And on the way home, I stopped off at a park. And you can look it up. It's called MacArthur Park in Los Angeles. And on a park bench in that park, now it was very comfortable. I love to say it was snowing and it was super cold, but it wasn't. It was a nice summer day. And it was in Los Angeles, so it was very pleasant. A little bit of smog, but the traffic wasn't that bad because it was over 30 years ago back then. And so I'm sitting on a park bench, and what I observed that day, I learned everything I know about marketing. And I observed a heavyset woman who was feeding pigeons, and what she did taught me on how to do my marketing, whether it's online, offline, inline, upline, their line, everywhere, line. Doesn't matter what line you're talking about. This is the essence of marketing, which to me means having someone else discriminate in your favor. Now, discrimination usually is a bad thing, but in this case, they're discriminating, or they're saying yes to you in your favor versus someone else's favor within your niche or your industry. So, Raven, it'll take about 3 minutes. Would you like me to tell everyone what I observed that woman do with feeding pigeons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, this is how I know how to market. So I observed this woman who just wanted to have pigeons feeding from her hand. She's in a park. There's a bunch of pigeons there. And I'm sitting on a park bench. I'm depressed. You don't want to be around me, you know. And, you know, there are like a few drunks and stuff running around and street people, and they're sleeping on a park bench. And I have my car. I had a Volkswagen Jetta, and I couldn't afford the gas. But, you know, I sat on that park bench, and I'm watching this woman, and she puts I don't know if it was maybe a nickel back then, but she put a coin in the machine. She turned it, and there was a birdseed machine there, and the birdseed came into her hand, and she walked towards the pigeons, and the pigeons, you know how they kind of, you know, walk like King Tut, you know, they're walking away. And she was showing the birdseed to them. She wanted them to feed from her hand, but they didn't. So then she walked away from the pigeons, and the pigeons started walking towards them. Right? They're Egyptian pigeons, maybe, who knows? But what happened was the space between her hand and the pigeons got closer and closer and closer. As she was walking towards them, they walked away. As she was walking away from them, they walked closer, and she was baiting them, teasing them, not selling them, not forcing them, just courting with them like you would a new relationship, until she got down on one knee. And she was heavy. She was a big woman, so it was probably painful for her to get down on one knee, but she did. She genuflected as you would in church or synagogue or in a temple. And she got down, and probably an adolescent pigeon decided, let me get some bird seed. I want me some bird seed. And then, bam, got the bird seed, and all the other pigeons followed. And a miracle happened. Because after that first pigeon said yes, after your first customer says yes, the others follow, because now you have proof. You have proof of concept. You have rapport. You have testimonials. You have case studies. In this case, the other pigeons observed what happened. They knew it was safe, and they started landing all over her. They were landing on her shoulders, on her head. They were pooping on her shoulders, which is good luck in our tradition. And then I thought that was the thing. That was it. But it wasn't, because the next day, I was in that park bench the next day, because now I can tell my park bench story, right? The next day, she came, and she didn't have to go through that dance anymore. All she had to do was show up. They trusted her, and it was a lot less effort. The hardest sale, folks, is your first one. The moment you make your first dollar and you go from amateur to professional like she did, then everything becomes a lot easier. And that's why the rich get richer in marketing. So there's nothing mystical about marketing. There's nothing about trickery in marketing. It's all about relationship and the willingness to look bad in public like she did, because she wasn't getting pigeons to feed from her for about an hour. Now, here's what happened, Raven. A little kid, it was summertime. So little kid, about maybe 5 or 6 years old, he wanted to have the same result she had. Now, we see wealthy people. We want what they got, right? We see J.K. Rowling of Harry Potter. We see Warren Buffett, right? Investor. We see Bill Gates. We saw Steve Jobs. We want what they got, right? We see we see Richard Branson, billionaires, you know, off of .coms. We want what they got, but we don't see the evolution of how they got there. So this young kid saw the pigeon lady. That's what we called her, the pigeon lady. And all these pigeons are coming to her, but they're not coming to him. And he can't understand it. So he asked for a nickel or whatever it was from his mom. He goes and chases them. He's not willing to go through that dance, so they get closer and closer and closer. He's got to go through the same exact stuff that she went through. He didn't do it. He finally gave up, threw the birdseed at people and at the pigeons, and never had the beak to hand relationship. How many times have you done that in business? How many times have you done it in marketing? How many times have you done that in relationships with a spouse, ex-spouse, family, friends, whomever, where you are not willing to go through the process to cinch the deal? I'm here to tell you, between where you are now and where you can be with influence is a few buttons that you need to push. The record button, the send button, the broadcast button, the tweet button, the follow button, the post button, the like button. And when you push enough of those buttons, you will have the social influence that people will dream about. But you got to push enough buttons to get there. And that's the topic, push button influence.
Push button influence. Push button influence. See how is that good into that? Is that cool or what? Hey, for those of you just joining, I'm Raven, the Talk Show Maven. Hello and welcome, Periscopers, Blabbers. We're also tuned in, Alex, today on my radio station, AmazingWomenOfPower.com, and in iTunes on our channel. So we are just blabbing it up everywhere. Okay. And this is Alex Mandossian. Wave Alex so the Periscope people can see you. He's my #1 mentor. Yeah, he is. And I'm so excited he's here. I get to be like, little kid, I'm jumping my seats like that. Yeah, because I get so excited for him being here. We're talking about today push button influence, and he did a great transition into that. But I want to take you back a moment because you said something that is huge, and I've learned it through my journey, as you know, Alex, is you got to be willing to go through the process. That sounds like a little thing, but it's actually a big thing.
Well, there's a movie that is about 3 hours. It's one of my favorite movies called The Shawshank Redemption. And it's based on a book by Stephen King. And it's about a guy who didn't commit a crime. And he got thrown in jail for several dozen years. And then finally, he makes his way out. In the movie, his name is Andy Dufresne, and he's played by Tim Robbins, the actor. And he has to go through this sewage tube or pipe, and it's 500 yards, right? I mean, that's a long ways. That's like 1,500 feet, and it's raw sewage from the prison, right? And so you don't want to think even what that feels like, but between freedom and the prison, he has to crawl through that pipe. And as he crawls through, he's vomiting, he gets sick, he comes out the other end. And in the movie, it's raining, it's pouring. Everyone else would think, wow, what a miserable night. But to him, as the rain was coming down and splashing all the sewage off of him, he was finally free. Now, how many times have you seen a rainy and stormy night like that with the wind and all that? And you go, oh, what a horrible night. But it depends what you had to go through to get there. And if you had to crawl through the sewage, 500 yards, and you got to freedom, then you'd be happy. That's the process he had to go through. I have no idea what your process is. It doesn't have to be hard, but I believe it does have to be a little painful. Ask a caterpillar. I'm sure a caterpillar will say, well, it's the end of my world. Ask a butterfly, and the butterfly says, well, it's the beginning of my life. Ask a mother giving birth, a miracle. What's the most painful thing you've ever done? Now, I don't know. I'm a guy, but I've watched 2 of them, and she will tell me, okay, that is the most without any kind of, anesthesiologist in the same room. That's the most painful thing we can go through. Yet people are giving birth every other second. So imagine pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. So most people think push button means fast and easy. No, push button means it's a process. You push buttons, you got to push a lot of them. And then it's like hitting a rock. You may hit it like 100 times, nothing happens. 105, nothing happens. On the 107th tap, it splits open.
That's where it splits open.
You did the work before. Let's take a water pump, right? You pump, nothing's coming out. You get 1 drop, 10 drops, then 1,000,000 drops. And then with every pump, you got 1,000,000 drops. In the first 15 pumps, nothing came out. Now, there's nothing wrong with the pump. It's nature, right? So it took 4.5 billion years to get Earth to be inhabitable for 10,000 years. Oh, you're going to blame those 4.5 billion years? There's a process. So know what the process is, and then be willing to go through it. And the easiest way to figure out what that process is model those who have gotten the results you want. And those are called social influencers. And Raven, you are one to many watching. I may be one to you or others watching. There are many for me that I watch. There's always a social influencer who's above and beyond you. They say you don't get rich, you just reach a new level of poverty, right? There's always someone wealthier and more influential than you. So I'm here to tell you, when people say, why are you successful? I say, you know what? I'm just more willing to look bad in public in the early era of getting off the ground. And I'm about to start a new project. So sloppy success is better than perfect mediocrity, we say.
And I love it when you say that. I never heard anybody say that before. Sloppy success is better than, finish that off again, Alex.
Mediocrity. Mediocre means, you're not good or you're not terrible. You're kind of in the middle. That's what I'm most afraid of, being mediocre. Sloppy success is better than perfect mediocrity. Well done is better than well said. Don't tell me what you're doing. Just do it, complete it. Even if it's ugly and sloppy, at least you completed it, and we can go to version 2. Version 1 is better than version none. Don't get me started. I'll go all day with these things.
I know. Hey, now we just had some people joining us, Alex. So let's give a really good, strong definition of what push button influence means.
Push button influence is something that I'm going to be selling as a course, and it's not for sale here. I'm here to talk about it because everyone here is a push button influencer. Okay, you right now can influence someone else's social influence by simply clicking on the like button or the retweet button. Okay, you can repost something or post something, and all of a sudden you're pushing a few buttons and you're becoming an influencer. By clicking the broadcast button on Blab, you become an influencer. So there are buttons today that you push, right? And by pushing these buttons that you take for granted, it's getting you more and more influence. Some buttons are more valuable than others. So by identifying what those buttons are and by pushing them more often and getting you out, like for example, Periscope, Blab, Hangouts, teleseminars, anything broadcast worthy, those are very powerful buttons. You know, Facebook has its own broadcasting system. Those are very powerful buttons. A play button on a YouTube video or a post button, very powerful buttons. So when you identify what these buttons are, you can enhance your influence, especially if you're following other influencers and maybe getting on their shows like I'm on your show right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and here's the thing, guys. This is all part of new media, and it's really, really cool to have this new media. I mean, years ago, right, Alex, we would have had to have an FCC license, because that's exactly why I got excited when I heard you interview, I think it was Rick Frischman on your teleseminar secrets course. And he said, well, Alex, you know, instead of doing teleseminars, I interview authors on my podcast. And when I was at the hospital, I got really cool because he said, excited rather, because he said you didn't need an FCC license. And so this is really cool, all this new technology, guys, because it eliminates all the excuses we had. Would you agree, Alex? You know, I got to have my FCC
It makes
license.
it easier. I'm going to tell you something. It may not be well received, but I got to tell you anyway, is people are chasing the traffic. People are chasing the big list. People are chasing the money. I'm chasing the money. I mean, you got to eat, right? People are chasing, they're chasing the clicks, right? But what do you have to have before all of that stuff? Before the click, before the opt-in, before the traffic, before the sale, before the multi-buyer, you need one thing that people are missing, and that is exposure, visibility. We call it marketing reach. When you have exposure, visibility, and reach, you have influence. So, you know, when you have an author who writes a book, an author is an authority. Influence equals authority. And so the more clicks you got, the more shares you got, the more likes you got, the more fans you got, the more connections you got, the more people have push buttons for you, the more influence you got. And here's the thing. Okay, people are chasing wealth, but this is what I know to be true. Influence precedes wealth. Before you can be wealthy, you have to be influential, right? And so the fastest and easiest way to win the influence lottery is to get on a show like this. Find someone. Now, Raven, I mean, you rave about me, no pun intended. You rave about me, and I'm your coach, and I love that. And I love you. But the fact is, you have more influence on Blab than I do. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm borrowing your authority, and I've won the influence lottery, right? Now, the cool thing about winning an influence lottery is it's not like winning money lottery, because when someone wins the money lottery, they lose all that money within 3 years because they're not prepared for it. But when you win the influence lottery, it's really hard to lose the influence you gained. Now, people watching me are either going to love me or loathe me. It's impossible for them to be undecided with me. So I polarize people. You either love me or you loathe me. At least you respect me because I'm pretty consistent on who I am. So the whole goal of being a push button influencer, whether you decide to come on board next year with us or not in our launch, is it's all driving relationship capital. Now, you know, in the old days, I come from a genocide community, Armenians. You know, there was a genocide in 1915. You know, we all know about World War II, but you can't have that anymore in Africa and other parts of the world where things were secret. Because of why? Because of buttons, because of people, because of Twitter, because of Facebook. You know, something comes out in Egypt and boom, everyone knows about it, right? So people have more influence than people realize, and it's the buttons that are giving them that influence. So I just want to bring more attention to that, because everyone watching right now is a push button influencer. When they're using their mouse, right? And they're giving me, I don't even know what they're called. What do you call those? Not hearts, but what are they think? Props. When they're giving me props, and thank you for those props, by the way. When I get those, you're pushing a button, right?
Yeah.
And it's giving me more influence. So I see Raven going 1273, 56, 80, 83. I'm going 1098, 1100. That is showing influence. And just by me talking about it, we're getting even more. So I don't think people realize how influential they are. You know, I wrote a book called Alexisms, which you helped me, you know, put together. And then the final Alexism, it says, you are not as good as you think you are. You're better. And if I have a message that I want on my tombstone, that's what I want. You are not as good as you think you are. You're better.
You're better. You're better. We gotta feel like we deserve that. Let me just cut this down. I'm getting a little echo. Hold on one second. And that's the thing, guys. You got to really feel like you deserve it. And, you know, Alex Mandossian, just for those of you that do not know him, he's been on the stage with some of the best people that you can think of. I know for sure Richard Branson, let's see, Harvey McKay, Donald Trump.
Yeah. Hey, guess
Tony
what?
Robbins,
if Donald Trump becomes president, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can say I interviewed the president, because I interviewed him at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And you don't call Donald Trump Donald. You call him Mr. Trump, right? And I found that the hard way.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting to know. Yeah, well, you've interviewed some amazing people. I got to ask you this, because I remember when I was taking teleseminar secrets, you were going for the Clinton. Did you ever get to interview with Bill?
I interviewed him for about 8 minutes in Vancouver. In Vancouver, I took a picture with him. And I interviewed him. I didn't have an iPhone. It was too early for those days, but we did have like a little digital camera, and I got that interview on. And, you know, I'm really proud of that. But I didn't get the teleseminar interview.
Well, that's okay, though. You got it. I mean, that's just like with Sherry Shepherd. I got 3 minutes, but I can always say I interviewed Sherry Shepherd. I learned that from you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so just go get those interviews. And talking about push button influence, if you notice, he talked about the influence. I have the influence each and every one of us have as scoping and blab and being on Amazing Women of Power. Shout out to my host and podcast. You know, we are influencers. So, you know, it doesn't matter. Don't worry so much about the numbers. They come. You keep showing up. Just keep showing up. One thing I did learn early on is you just come on and do 200%, do your best, treat one person like it's a million, and it will come. I got my first award as a podcaster, and a listener emailed me, and I kid you not, I don't think I had 50 or 100 followers back then. So it's all about your content, your message, and you just delivering it in a way that's going to change people's lives. And I learned that from you, Alex, and I'm so glad I did, because I remember you sharing with me that you were doing something, teleseminar with Armin. And I think you and Armin was the only one that showed up. Can you kind of share a little bit about that story to inspire others?
Man, you remember everything. Well, first of all, the difference between an amateur and a professional, I want everyone to listen carefully. The difference between an amateur and a professional is $1. The moment you make your first dollar, you turn pro. Now, yes, I know you want $1 million. And yes, I know you want to make it in a year. Who doesn't? Right? Everyone's going to make $1 million. Some will take 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, but the trick is to make it in a year. I've been blessed to make it in 28 minutes in 2007. I mean, it was a perfect storm. I can say I did it. But the point is, I turned pro online in 2001. I made my first buck. It took me 3 years. So it's a long distance between an idea, right, and making your first dollar. And the distance between making your first dollar and $1 million is not as long. And people don't realize that. So with influence, if you get your first like, well, you're an influencer to someone. If you get your first retweet or repost, you're an influencer. If you get your first prop, you're an influencer. Period. End of story. But, you know, when we play the comparison game and wanting more and more and more, then it becomes depressing. So stop comparing and start focusing on what you already have. Let me tell you the story with Armand Morin and me. So what I learned the hard way is when you have multiple speakers invited to the same teleseminar, trying to fill seats to an event. This happened to be the big seminar, which I did 8 of with Armand, who was my former partner and still a good friend. Well, when you have everyone invited, all the other speakers think that everyone else is going to go. So guess what? They don't show up. So it's kind of like, you know, being in a village and everyone's a winemaker. And one time the mayor says, let's make our best wine ever. Everyone bring their best glass of wine. And, you know, everyone goes home. They go, I'm not going to give my best wine. I'm just going to give a little bit of water because wine is expensive here. I only grow, you know, just I have a few cases every single year. So they stick water into the cask. And on a Sunday, the mayor dips the glass in and takes out water because everyone had the same idea of not showing up with their best glass of wine. That's what happened in this one teleseminar. It was just Armand and me, and none of the other speakers showed up because they assumed other speakers would show up and that they wouldn't be missed. Nothing could be further from the truth. And so what ended up happening is we were the only ones, and we just continued and let the show go on. In fact, not only did the other speakers not show up, no one else showed up to listen. But if you show up to your own teleseminar, to your own blab, to your own Periscope, to your own Hangout, there's so many different technologies, I can't even go through them now. If you show up to your own gig, then how many people does it take to create a relationship? One. Well, how is that relationship going? Because if that relationship is not enough, I'm talking with you, then don't think it's going to be enough when the money comes pouring in, because the money makes you more of who you are. I've heard that said again and again. So it was just Armand and me. We recorded it. We repurposed it. We transcribed it. We got it out. And from that one teleseminar, we helped fill the big seminar. We could have just given up and saying, oh, you know, that's it. We don't want to look bad. We didn't care about looking bad because no one was there to observe us looking bad, right? We just did the interview. Mm-hmm. And that's the attitude I want you to have. That's the same attitude J.K. Rowling had with her sleeping child when she was taking her child from coffee shop to coffee shop, writing her first Harry Potter book. That's exactly how Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen felt when they went to multiple publishers and they all said no until the 144th said yes. That's exactly what Dr. Seuss felt for the first 6 no's that he got. And the 7th question he asked of a publisher, he sold 6 million books from that one. Imagine the previous 6 who said no. They must feel stupid. Imagine Steve Jobs getting fired from Apple, the company he built, and he comes back for the greatest second act in business history. Now, maybe he wasn't nice to be around as a manager, but man, your life and my life has changed because of that man's vision. So these are all people that are willing to look bad in public, and the show goes on despite how many people show up. But I'm going to say, and I'm there with you, that depending on the number of people show up, that defines how successful you are. And that is a lie. You will never make it. And I got to remind myself, that's why I'm saying it right now. It's not just for you, it's for me too, right? I got four fingers pointing back at me right now, by saying this is for you, right? So actually, 3 fingers actually. I'll get my thumb to point back. So that's what I'm telling you. Act as if everyone is watching, right? And if you do that, then you'll deliver content worthy of devotion.
Absolutely. And record that bad boy, whatever you do, and turn it into a lot of content. Because I know Alex, let me cut this down. I'm getting a little. I know one thing I learned from you, Alex, was record it, because you can take that one thing and turn it into multiple products, not just 1, 10, 15, and more. So, just show up and do your best. Keep going for the numbers. Don't get us wrong or get me wrong. but don't let it destroy your self-esteem. Just keep doing you.
Well, here's the
keep
thing.
showing up.
Again, push button influence. You record one thing, and then you can repurpose it by pushing other buttons. Transcription, right? Recording, podcast, other video, online video, membership, CD, DVD. These things aren't dead, and you repurpose that one piece of content. The big mistake people make is they put out 20 pieces of content and don't repurpose any of it. Create one piece of content, repurpose it 20 ways, use the majority of your week repurposing and sprinkling those little seeds, and then go to the next week and have one piece of content and do the same thing again. People don't spend enough time building their influence. They think content is king. It is king, but it's the repurposing that gets the king on the throne.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, we're talking to Alex Mandossian. If you are just joining us on Periscope and Blab, I want to welcome you. I'm Raven, the TalkShowMaven, and of course, known by many as the Queen of Blab, but also the Queen of Interview Conversion, because I show you how to blab it up with style and confidence and authenticity, and then turn that bad boy into a cash machine. And I learned how to put it together on my icon interview formula, investigate, connect, and own your platform and get to the nitty gritty. You can get it too.
Man, I love that.
And Alex, I'm so excited because he's talking about his push button influence. And you guys just see how easy it is. We're all doing it already, right, Alex? We're doing it already. We just need to do more of it. People are so confused with all these platforms. Alex, you do Google Hangout, you're doing Periscope, you're doing Blab, and everybody's asking which one. I heard you say in a recent interview, choose one that really resonates with you, one that's working. For me, Blab is working. Periscope, I get a few people. Blab, I get a few more. I love Blab. It's perfect for what I do. So can you speak on that?
You see, the first thing I ask people, if I'm at a mastermind or if I'm at a gathering, I ask them, what's your preferred social media or new media platform? What's your preferred platform? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook? Is it G+, Google Hangouts, Periscope, Blab? I mean, what is it? Now, if someone says my preferred platform is Blab, then you already know they're a presenter, right? Because they're presenting. If they say Periscope, you know that they're a presenter who likes to do lots of presentations. If they say Google Hangouts, you know they're a presenter. If they say teleseminars, they're a presenter. But you have to have a preferred new media platform, because otherwise you're diluting all of your influence, and you are not creating, like in football, a blitz from one media platform. So many people think that they got to be everywhere. No, if you're everything to everyone, you're nothing to no one. Be one thing on your preferred platform. Mine is Google Hangouts. Now, why? Because I take that video, I rip out the audio, I make a transcription, and that root content ends up getting sprinkled 20 different ways for the following week, and it expands my social influence. Now, that's my preference. Does it make it any better? No, but it's better for me, and I connect on a Google Hangout because of what I get to do there, and I'm very comfortable with it. Now, yours may be different. So people make the mistake of saying, okay, well, I'm going to do what Alex does, or I'm going to do what Raven does. No, find what's very, very comfortable for you, and that is what you want to pounce on. J.K. Rowling is a writer. She's not a film producer, right? She wrote the Harry Potter books and is a billionaire. Steven Spielberg is a director. He does film. He's not a writer. So it's different, right? You take Donald Trump. I would say he's a speaker. Love him or loathe him, he's a speaker. Yeah, he has books, right? But he's a speaker. Yes, he probably would love to do a movie, but he's a speaker. He's, of course, the builder as well, and he's done that well, but he's a speaker. So he has a preferred platform of influence. So that's the first question you got to ask yourself. What's my preferred platform of influence? And then stick with that. And that becomes the bike that you ride.
And then when you get that one fixed, then move on, because otherwise you get so overwhelmed. Now, many people may be saying, this sounds great, Alex and Raven, but why is this relevant to me? What would you say, Alex?
I assume that you want to be remembered. And I assume that you want to be liked. Now, if you want to be remembered, they call that legacy. And if you want to be liked, that's authority, right? And so if you want any of those two things to make a difference and serve others, by leading them, then it's really important for you to have a message. Now, some people don't know what their message is. So the easiest way is to hire a coach or a mentor or to have a model to follow until that message becomes yours. I have 4 mentors that have had a big raving influence on my life. And over that course in time, my message has always been, you're not as good as you think you are. You're better. So rather than focusing on what's in the outer part of people's lives, how many likes you got, how big is your list and all this stuff, I look at quality. How engaged is your list? What's your open rate when you send an email? How engaged is a post on Facebook? That's what I look at, because engagement, that's my verb. I engage, therefore I am. Engagement is what defines, who you end up becoming as an influencer. So I think everyone wants to be an influencer. A parent wants to influence kids. Kids want to influence parents. Teachers want to influence students. Students want to influence teachers. It doesn't matter who has higher status or lower status. You want to influence others. And I'm not talking about manipulate. I'm talking about influence. Right. So they're doing it of their own free will. So that's why this is relevant. It's relevant to anyone in business or outside of business, because it ends up where you have an impact on someone else's life and humanity.
Can we talk about the step-by-step process of push button influence?
Well, remember, I'm at the sloppy success phase, so I'm actually launching a beta where people are paying me money to teach me what to say next March when it's really launching, which is, it's like me going to heaven without the inconvenience of dying, right? So I'm going to make $40,000. 40 people are saying yes at $1,000 for me to learn from them. And of course, they're going to get additional exposure when this thing finally launches. But step 1 is for you to identify your preferred influence platform. You got to identify, what is it? There's a broadcasting platform out there that you prefer. Now, I can't prefer it for you. You have to prefer it. That's up to you. And we can give you a whole choice and you choose one of them. Now, overwhelm is when you have a bunch of choices and you haven't made a decision. Overwhelm is indecision. But the moment you focus on one and you decide, even if it's the wrong one, at least you're finding out, right? So that's the first step, is find your preferred media platform, okay? So the second step is to integrate all the other platforms with that primary one. Let me give you an example. My preferred platform is Google Hangouts. Why? Well, mine could be Tumblr or a blog. If I wrote, okay, then I have to do a video on top of that, and I got to do audio, okay? But if I did video on a Google Hangout, I automatically have the audio because I never speak to the eyes. I always speak to the ears. If you notice, I speak in pictures. So if you were listening to this and you heard the pigeon story, it's very visual, right? So you got to speak a specific way. We'll teach you how to do that. And you can learn how to do it just by listening and becoming more visual with spoken word than just thinking, hey, look at this image. Okay, that would be to the eyes. Imagine a woman feeding pigeons and chasing them as they fly away. That's more to the ears. That's spoken word. So the reason I chose Google Hangouts is that I can integrate that with YouTube, with podcasts and iTunes, with Easy Articles, with the transcription I pull from that for $1, per minute, with Twitter, with Facebook, with LinkedIn. I mean, I can integrate all of that. And so I do one piece of content a week. My content day is Friday. And then my step 2 is integrating all those other channels. Step 3 is repurpose and sprinkle the content on all the other platforms with your content. Don't put out a bunch of content. Put the same content on different channels so people know who you are. You're consistent. That's step number 3. That. Okay.
Oh my God.
And here's step 4. Step 4 is to win the social influence lottery. Find people, podcasters, bloggers, writers who write for Forbes or Huffington Post. Ariana Huffington, introduced to her recently. Find those people and get your message on with them. Don't sell anything. Just get your message, and your call to action is to come back to your show.
Yes.
So now you're poaching their audience, not with your product, which is a mistake, but with your content, which is what you want to do. Otherwise, they won't let you back on the show, right? And then step number 5 is to make money from it after they're on your list and they're part of your tribe. So it's a 5-step process right now. It may be 7 by the time we're in March, but that's enough to charge $1,000 for the beta testers, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, so I love it. So let's do the 5, just the names of them and not the explanations. One more time.
Number 1. All right, you put me on the spot. Number 1, preferred platform to get the message out. Your preferred platform. Okay?
Okay.
Mine is Google Hangouts. Yours is Blab. Okay? You got to choose one. You got to decide. Okay?
Pick one.
Pick one. And it's a platform to broadcast. So can you broadcast on Facebook? You can. Yeah. But I personally think it's not as powerful as Blab or a Hangout. Yeah? It's my preference. So preferred platform is step 1. Step number 2, integrate other platforms.
I love that. Okay.
Once you have the content, now you take that content and you want to make sure that everything else is connected, right? Mm-hmm. So do you have a podcast on iTunes? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a Facebook fan page? Do you have a Twitter profile? Do you have a LinkedIn profile? You want to have presence there. Now, people say, well, I can't do all that stuff. Why not? Because you're doing one piece of content with your preferred platform. Step 2, you're integrating all those 3. Step 3 is to repurpose the content you created during one day in the week, and you're sprinkling it for the rest of the week on all the other platforms. That has to be crystal clear, right? Yeah. Now, this is simple, but it's simplicity on the far side of complexity. It's wisdom. It's not simplicity on the near side. It's not like tying your shoe. It's like, okay, we went through all this Shawshank Redemption, sewage, and then we came on the other side to freedom with the rain falling down on our eyes, and we know we're free, and we're about to go to this island and meet with our friend who we were in jail with for 20 years, okay? If you came in late, you have no idea what that is, but if you came in the beginning, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's step 3, is repurposing and sprinkling. Step 4, you have a network, you're your own influencer, you have your own channels out there, and you're putting your own content through it. Now what? Now you borrow authority. You're a push button influencer. You're going to borrow authority from someone else who has more influence than you. So you get on a podcast that has 1 million reach that's relevant to your topic. You get on a blog and you become a guest poster. Okay. You get on a virtual presentation on a Hangout. Like for me, Guy Kawasaki, he's a social influencer. If I'm on his Hangout, I would get massive reach. Mm-hmm. So he'd be an influencer I'd be going after. You with me?
Yeah.
So that's step number 4 is win the influence lottery and go after influencers. Influencers have more power than you do. And then what's your call to action? When you're on the show and they say, well, how can people learn more about you? Don't sell them something. You're on an editorial show, folks. Poach them legally and say, well, if you like to see what my show is all about, go here. And that could be your primary preferred influence platform. I send my people to marketingonlinehangout.com. They can get past episodes if they opt in or see the recent episode without an opt-in. Simple. Okay. And then step number 5, once you have them on your list, once you've poached legally from social influencers, once you have all the integration and content going out, and it takes about 2 to 3 months before you have enough content out there, now you can sell them something.
Sell them something. It's okay now because they know, like, and trust you. Yeah.
That's called push button monetization. That's what that's called, right? And then the next step is push button empire. First, you have the influence, then you have the monetization, you make money from it, and then you create an empire where you scale it. Now you can sell it to someone else. So that's the process.
I love
Hopefully,
it.
It'll make sense in the future.
And empire. Influence,
empire,
and empire.
Now, let me tell you what we have planned. Our launch is during the spring equinox next year. So March 20th, the card opens and the card closes April 6th. We're already getting partners for that. That's how far in advance we plan. What's the curriculum, Alex? I don't know. We're doing a beta with 40 people paying $1,000. What's it going to cost next year? I don't know. The beta people will tell us. By the way, Raven, you're already in as a beta because you're a consulting client. So you don't have to pay that $1,000.
Yay!
You paid 5 times more. So thank you very much. And then in June, where we're going to be in San Diego, and that's where we have our reunion, which I hope to see you there again.
Yeah.
What I'm going to sell from the stage is going to be push button monetization.
That's going to be so amazing.
And that'll go for 9 months. And then when that's done, what I sell from that stage is push button empire. So I already have like 2 to 3 years planned out. I'm telling you, everyone can do this on paper. And that's what we're doing. And I'm doing it with a partner, Steve Olsher.
I love it. Okay, like you said, everyone can do it. So the question is, Alex, what if our viewers today, well, or March when you do it, they become push button influence? How would their life change? What would it look like?
Well, basically, you'll have more people observing you. Now, if you're Tiger Woods, that may get you into trouble, right? Because based on your choices, now people say, yeah, influence is a good thing, but Tiger Woods, some senators I could name, right?
Yeah.
You got to be really careful when all eyes are on you, right? So what will happen is you'll get a lot more attention. You'll be a lot more famous in your area of expertise. You'll be a lot more influential. And, influence does have its dark side. You can think of World War II, World War I. You can think of all the tyrants in history. Influence, has the dark side. So that's when humility really has to kick in. And you have to be prepared for that. And you prepare for it before you have it. Prepare for it before you have the money. And listen, there's a big difference between humiliation and humility. You have to go in with a sense of, okay, when I have it, okay, how do I prevent this from getting to my head? And I've let it get to my head and it's bitten me. And it's not a fun place to be. I mean, it's kind of like coming down like a lead balloon. So the thing that you will have more than anything else is you will have influence, power, notoriety. More eyes will be on you, and you got to be super, super careful in what you do because people will be modeling you. They'll be taking shots at you. They'll be criticizing you. The moments people start criticizing, you have arrived.
You've arrived.
They care about you.
I've arrived. Yeah.
And if you're like most, and if you follow what I do, even if you don't invest in what I do, then you will also be wealthier and make more money along the way. Now, wealth and richness or riches are different.
They're two different
wealth
things.
Is what's left after all the money is gone. Mahatma Gandhi was wealthy. Mother Teresa was wealthy, right? But, being rich is, having money. I think that you will have a lot more money after you're an influencer because all you got to do is one post, one email, one comment. And if you don't abuse the power, you will make lots and lots of money. Bill Gates said in the beginning, I would put in 1,000 inputs to my business at Microsoft. I was sleeping under my desk and I put 1,000 inputs and I got only one input out. But near the end, after I was in momentum, I put in one input and I got 1 million outputs.
Wow.
So you got to be willing to go through that process like we talked about and build it through momentum. And my wish for you is that when you ascend the mountain of prosperity, that you do it slowly so that your ego and your heart stays with you and you don't let it get out of control. I've allowed that to happen and it's hurt me, and it really, really is painful when that happens. So, I'm ready to do it again with PBI, push button influence, and I'm ready to be a humble leader this time and not an arrogant one.
Wow. Well, I just got a feeling we've got some people that are ready too. So I know, Alex, there's got to be a way that you can link them to you somehow. Can you type something in there, or I'll type it in as to how they can follow you to find out more about this push button info?
Oh, sure. I can. Hang on.
Okay. You guys, if you're just tuning in while Alex is typing that in, he's going to type, how you can connect with him. And we're going to open up the seats for you guys to come on in. Let's see. Who is that? Volar Kingston Kingdom says, the slower you go, the faster you get to where you want to. Because if you are enjoying where you are, you don't have to go anywhere. Okay. Love that. Oh, Alex, let's see. We had a question. Someone wanted to know, do you just do content yourself or do you invite others on? Of course, I know the answer to that. You want to On your Google Hangouts and stuff.
I invite others on. I like to do an interview because that way others are taking part in that work. But I will tell you, the thing I do best, I believe, is create content and curate C-U-R-A-T-E, curate content.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that's different now, Raven, than it was 10 years ago is we used to create a lot more content back then because there were just a few channels to push them through. Now we want to create less new content and curate it and repurpose it and sprinkle it everywhere because there's too much content out there. So we want to make sure that it's simplified and it's good news.
Yeah.
But people are going in the wrong direction. Folks, the only thing worse than going in the wrong direction is to go in the wrong direction enthusiastically.
I remember you saying that, and that is so true. So now Alex can take one thing and, turn it into many, and that's what you want to do. Leverage, repurpose, and leverage. You don't have to keep recreating content over and over again, which is exhausting, I might add.
It is.
It gets confusing, and then once you do one, you don't think it's good enough, and you're doing something. So that's really good. So this is the link, this YouTube.
No, I gave a link, marketingonlinementor.com. There's no opt-in there. They can learn from 2 hours worth of video training, and they can learn from me. And then if they want to meet me later on an assessment, they can do that as well. But there's no tricks and no one holding hostage. Just go there and learn. And by the time you're done with those 4 videos, you're going to have a shift and you'll be a push button influencer.
Yeah. So go to Alex's link now. We're going to open up the seats to see if you have a couple questions. And just a quick commercial break. Alex, feel free to get some water if you want.
Okay, thanks. Can I do that now?
Yeah, you can do that now. And Julia, I'm going to bring you on, but hold on. And so we're just going to cut the music on, get a little dance on. And you know me, we got to dance it up over here.
All right. Thanks, Raven.
Okay, let me see. I'm going to let you back out. Where did Alex go? Okay. Julia, when he comes back, I'm going to let you out and you come back in because I want him at the top. Okay?
Okay.
Woo-hoo. All right, now. You in the seat now, Julia, so you got to dance.
I can't hear the music.
Okay, hold on.
Julia, look at Julia, man. How long has it been?
It's been a while. It's been entirely too long. So nice to run into you here, my friend.
I'm doing great. Are you in Chicago today?
I am, and it's our first official day of fall. It's crappy. It's cold and gray and raining. So it's been
here's
awesome.
to you. Here's a good question to ask on Blab or Periscope or Hangout. Do you prefer flat water or sparkling water? I always prefer sparkling
water.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If I'm actually thirsty, then I want real water. If I'm just having a beverage, then I want sparkling.
Of course, yours is always a subject to answer, so I always get that from you.
Anyway, I actually got to run off to a coaching call, but I wanted to see your cute face in person and say hi.
Hello, good to see you again.
Hello, good to see you. And I also, my favorite thing that you said is about how your time is better spent repurposing content than making more content.
Yeah,
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm learning that lesson myself lately, and I think it's very important.
Well, here's one reason why I think people don't, and I really don't know the reason why, the root reason, but I think that familiarity breeds contempt. So they get sick of their own content way before other people get sick of it. They think that they are teaching their content to a grandstand of people just kind of sitting there when really it's a moving parade. So remember that people don't remember what you put out yesterday. I mean, on Twitter, they don't remember what you put out an hour ago, right?
Right. Yeah, it's a long time ago when I was teaching social media, and people would get so worried about, oh gosh, what if somebody sees this or that? I say, you should be so lucky that somebody should see every single thing that you put out.
Yep.
Nobody cares, or I should say, they don't care nearly as much as we often think they do, right?
No, I tweet the exact same thing 2 and 3 hours apart because different people are seeing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the only thing that I would add to that, what you were talking about, content and then put it out for the whole week, is I like to do like my last month's worth of content and mix it up. So I'm not talking about one topic all week long.
Yeah. That's exactly right. What we do, we teach an editorial calendar. We say there's a general topic, and then there are 5 or 6 different subtopics of that general topic. And we like to sprinkle that throughout the month. So now we become a social influencer on that topic, right? And it gives you a schedule on what to talk about, which is really, really cool. So good luck with your meeting. Good seeing you, Julia.
Yeah, thank you. And hey, I do a daily blabcast myself. So now that I know you're on this platform, we should chat about having you come on my little blabcast.
Well, see, that's thanks to Raven. Do you see the way momentum builds, folks? I'm on one blab. Someone else sees me. They say, would you like to be on another blab? Yeah. So let's discuss it.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Who else we have coming? Let's see. Sorry about that. Gail. Okay, Gail. And Daphne. Let's see. Okay, Gail, 1 second. I'm going to put you back in 1 second. Let me see if I can get Alex back to the top. There he is. Okay.
I don't know how you do that, but that's cool.
Well, you have to exit them out when they pop up at the top so that the other person can come back in. I want you at the top next to me.
All right, cool. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. Okay, Daphne and Gail, you can come back in. Oh, shoot. Now you're back at the bottom. So that worked. Oh, hey. Hello. Hi. Gail was here first, so we can go to Gail. You guys cut the echo down or cut the sound down. Okay. Hey, Gail.
Hey. Hi, Alex. How are you?
Hi.
I have been with you a very long time. Although like back in 2006, I remember telling seminars. I think that's great. And the question I have for you is when if as a person is developing this themselves, so let's say they're brand new, okay, they're starting at totally zero, and then they're trying to determine the content to put out, what would you suggest they do?
Okay. First of all, Raven, I want to acknowledge you. You found the source of the echo, and she had a ton of power during that echo, though.
I know, she did. Right. She did.
So I'm going to paraphrase the question. What if you're just starting out? I'll just simply put, like, how do you know what content to start with? Is that a fair question?
Exactly.
Okay. So I will tell you that human beings are really good at knowing what they don't want. But they're not super good at knowing what they do. So I start my students by starting with topics they don't want, that they don't like, that they don't care about. And I have them spend a day or two on all the topics that they would never talk about. And that topic is going to be, those topics are going to be the do not talk about topic list, kind of like the don't do list, things you're supposed to do because it's going to waste your time. Right now, It's really important to have that list, because if somehow something on that list tries to seduce you to say, come on, use me. I want you. You want to stay away from that, because that's poison for you, because you've already decided you don't want that. So that's what you move away from. And then a few days later, you start with, well, what do I want? And a lot of great teachers, spiritual teachers, teach this, is use the law of contrast. What's the opposite of what you don't want, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I know that I love teaching spiritual traditions of learning, right? But I'm a marketer. So people are going to look at me like, well, you're not a healer, you're not a spiritual teacher. So I smuggle it instead. So I use marketing, kind of like masquerading as a marketer, and then I kind of like slip the spiritual teaching underneath that. That's what I'm good at, right, is smuggling, right? Kind of seeding it and invisibly doing it. Lisa Sasevich does the same thing. And so in that process, you got to ask yourself, what don't I want? What do I want? And then of the list of the things that you do want, there are probably going to be 2 or 3 things that really come out at you, topics. Mm-hmm. And it could be any topic. Forget about making money. Just these are things that you love, that you're committed to. And then of those 2 or 3, you pick one and you go for it. Okay. Right? Okay. And you come up. Now I'm going to give you a strategy, real simple. Let's say my topic was Google Hangouts. Mm-hmm. Let's say that's what I teach. Okay. So let's say that I want 6 weeks of content. Well, I'm going to give you 6 weeks of content right now. My first week, I would do 5 ways to make more money on Google Hangouts. Mm-hmm. Okay. And during that one Google Hangout, whether it's 30 minutes, an hour, or 10 minutes, I just talk about those 5 ways, what they are and why they're important. You with me so far?
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Now, the next week, what do? I go really narrow and deep on way number 1. So whatever my first tip was, I go deep on that one just for the entire next week. And then the next week, which is week 3, I go really deep on way number 2, all the way to the 5th way or tip or strategy. I got 6 weeks of content. What am I doing the rest of the week? Well, I'm sprinkling it everywhere in my network.
Okay.
And now I become an authority how to make money with Google Hangouts.
Right.
I titled my Hangouts, How to Make Money with Google Hangouts. Right. And it's the same title for all 6 weeks. Does Google love me? Google loves you. Right? So you can do the exact same thing. I just gave you, this is the methodology. Don't try to make it more complicated than it is. It's that simple.
Right.
And if you decide to take that on, you'll have a lot of fun with it. Create content in one day.
Yeah.
And then sprinkle it for the rest of the week upcoming. Okay.
Okay. Super. Thank you so very much. Raven, awesome, tacular. Awesome.
You've been with me since 7 this morning.
I know, man. I've been hanging out with you all day.
All right, girl. Looking forward to our session together. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Anyone else have a question? Jump on in. We probably don't want to take up too much of Alex's time. You got 5 more minutes, Alex?
I do. I got 5 more minutes exactly.
Okay. Omar.
Hi.
Hello, Omar.
Hi. How you doing?
I got my crown.
Great. Yeah. Excellent content. Alex, I had one question. Actually, I missed one. I missed number 3. I got number 1 as your preferred platform. Number 2, integrated podcast and all. What was number 3?
Okay, number 3 is Omar. I would say it's probably the most important. All the way, it's a 5-way tie for first place. But repurpose it and sprinkle it in all the integrated other platforms so people actually see you. It's not enough to have a preferred platform. It's not enough to integrate because they don't know you yet. Now, step 3 is to sprinkle it throughout the week. And then step 4 is to find other social influencers where you can get on and expand yourself even more. And step 5 is to monetize it once you know what you're doing. So those are the 5 steps.
Great. Okay, got it. And number 4 was borrow influence. So that went.
The number 4 is get on influencer shows.
Okay.
Get on their shows. See, part of push button influence, what we're doing is we're making lists of influencers that, by category, right? Like health and wellness, business, family, personal development. So you want to know, where to go. And they're out there, but no one's ever made these lists. So once we teach you how to present to them, once we teach you what they want from you, never pitch a product ever, right? It's always editorial. When you get on that show, then it's kind of like being on TV, only you're on longer and you're on forever. On TV, you're on for 3 minutes and you're gone. Online, you're on forever, man.
Okay, got it. So never pitch a product. You just basically giving value, talking about the product or talking about the subject.
Talking about your brand, like talking about what you do. And then your call to action is, how can people learn more about you? Well, come and join my show.
Okay.
And so it could be a hangout. It could be a scope. It could be Blab. It could be your Facebook fan page. It could be your Facebook group. But you're not selling anything. You're asking them, join my community. And that's what people want. That's what social influencers have. They have communities.
So, Alex, I know you love Google Hangouts, but is this anything close to a Google Hangout? I mean, could this be?
I think in many ways, it's superior to Google Hangouts. It's easier. It's easier. You can get a lot more people on. Like, I'm looking at the numbers. I mean, it's just going up, up, and up, right? And because it's integrated. Now, when something is integrated, it has integrity. That's where the word comes from. Because it's integrated with Twitter with one little button. Pushing, tell a little bird, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's influencing, and people are coming on because they're pushing the tell a little bird button. So that's my whole point. Everyone here is influencing this, making me look really good. It's not much I'm doing other than saying stuff that's valuable, I hope, because you're pushing that tell a little bird button. That's what push button influence is. So in many ways, it's more powerful than Google Hangouts.
So that means that the stuff that you're going to be teaching in your master presenter class could be applied here, and that what you taught in the
it will be applied here. In fact, my thought is there's going to be a new platform that we don't even know about yet.
Around the corner, yeah.
That's going to be, you know, in March. And, you know, I'm going to have to, you know, talk about that. And who am I going to go to talk about Blab and everything else? Well, you got Raven, you got other people who know a lot more than I do.
Great. I'll be looking forward to it. Thanks a lot. All righty. Take care. Bye.
Good seeing you, Omar.
Bye. Thank
you.
Okay, so we have the last one. Oh, we got to get Khalik on here. Okay.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Yeah, but we got what's your name? Is it Joe? Let's see.
My name is Walter Paul Biberian.
Hey, Walter. Hi.
Hey,
welcome.
Armenian. I like him already.
Thank you.
What's your question for Alex? And welcome.
Well, I'm an artist, okay, and I have 310,000 images on my online art site. Do I have to be a social influencer?
Okay.
It's very different from what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, you're Walter, right?
Or Vartan in Armenian. So
Vartan. Okay. Madigere. All right. That means listen. All right. Here's what you are already a social influencer. An artist by definition. If someone looks at your art, whatever form it is, you already have influence. Now, you know what an exhibition is. Yeah. When someone goes to an exhibition, they physically have to leave their home. They probably have been pitched by the exhibition studio, whoever owns it, and now you're being displayed somewhere. We have a bunch in San Francisco on Geary Street, but it could be anywhere in the world. And whatever format of art it is, you have an opportunity to make money, and that's called a seminar for an artist. It's an exhibition, right? Now, what if your art was online and underneath the art, you had a Blab or Periscope or Google Hangout every single week, and you talked about 4 to 5 pieces a week. Now, artists don't make money creating art. Artists make money explaining art. So I bought a $16,000 piece of art, which I've never paid that much in my life, because I heard the story behind the art. It broke 3 times. His son, he happened to be an artist in Utah. His son accidentally cut the rope it was hanging on, and it broke. And he took me through the whole process, and I thought, wow, this is valuable, man, right? And it was just, it was something that was an image that I thought was super cool, but I bought it, and I thought a lot of money because of the story I heard. If I just looked at it, I wouldn't have known that it would be valuable to me. So if you explain your art and you release it a little bit each week, that's your content. Mm-hmm. And so imagine you have a hub and spoke scenario. The hub is where you're sending the traffic. That's where your art is with your audio presentations, or it could be video with a little, video screen, and you're saying, okay, that's the art up there. And you tell the story behind it, and make sure you speak with the heart, not with the head. People don't care about this. They care about this. Okay. Which I'm sure you can do. You probably speak with your heart when you're creating art. And if you do that over time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, you'll have a digital exhibition online, and you'll be selling more art than you know what to do with, because now they have the story behind each. And then other artists will be coming to you and saying, man, this guy's a social influencer, man. He sells a lot of art online, and we haven't seemed to be able to do it because we try to do it the old-fashioned way through exhibits and through galleries. So that's a very short explanation of what I recommend for you. I hope it makes sense.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And the last one is none other than Khalik. Mm-hmm. Hey, Khalik. No, we can't hear you. Nope.
I'm used to that.
No. Can't hear you at all. Okay. Poor baby, he's ill. We went to Periscope Summit, and he got sick. So we can't hear you, babe. I'm sorry. Well, Alex, thanks again. I know we kept you a little bit longer. Thank each and every one of you on Periscope for tuning in, Blab, and Amazing Women of Power. And all of you listening to the replay, thanks. Thanks for the prompts. Thanks for the shares. Now, Alex, we don't leave my show without doing a little dance. So,
okay, cool.
You ready? A 1,
yeah,
a 2, a 1, 2, 3. And here we go, guys, as we do the interview. I call it the interview shuffle. All right. And the quickest way to become an expert and to become a push button influencer is to interview those others or get on their show. Hey. All right, Alex. Hey, I'm Raven, the talk show Maven. That is Alex Mandossian, my #1 mentor. And speaking of being on Influencer Show, I'm looking at you, Alex. All right,
You're
y'all.
awesome.
Go back
Thank
and
you.
listen to the replay. Thanks, Alex. Bye-bye. All right, everyone. That's Alex Mandossian. Check him out. Check him out. He's amazing. And you all are push button influencers. You heard him. Hey. Woo. Hey. I'm Raven, the talk show Maven, queen of blab, because I show you how to blab it up with style, with confidence, with flavor, with pizzazz, and then we teach you how to interview those icons like Alex and turn those interviews into a cash machine. Hey. Get your first dollar. Woo! All righty. Well, it's been great. Now we're supposed to get Furkan in here. Hopefully I said his name right. So we're gonna wait for him. If anybody wants to jump in the seat and dance with me, come on. While we wait for him, he's supposed to be at 2 o'clock. Hey, Rena's here. Mary's here. Anybody else want to dance with me? Come on. Woo!
I love it. You are awesome. Go Raven. Go Raven.
Woo!
Everyone, she is.
All right, Mary. All right, Rena D. Got room for one more. Let's do the interview shuffle. Hey.
Yes. Go. You got it.
Hey. Ow. Yeah. All right, little sister, sit down before she fall down. Hey.
Love it.
Woo. Wasn't Alex amazing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to ask him a question, but I will.
Here we go. Let me cut it off.
Me too. I was just waiting. Couldn't get in there.
I kept saying, come on. You guys got to do that. Push button influence fast. Hello, everyone. Hey, Rena, are you in the car?
Yes, but I'm not driving.
Because we don't drive. We don't.
I thought she was in the car.
And don't.
I'm scared to ask.
I just love it.
I know that's right. These are my mastermind ladies, Rena D and Mary Smith Moore, part of Amazing Women of Power. Check them out. And they'll be blabbing it up soon. Hey, Jonathan. Let's see.
Hey.
Wow. Omar. Hey, Omar.
Hey, how's my lighting?
Forgiveness expert.
A little dark. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, but that was awesome. Really good. I'm part of the Alex's Facebook group. He has a Facebook group called the MVP. And so, he's constantly putting some information out about that push button presentation. So I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be really good.
Right, absolutely. Oh, he's amazing. Anybody else want to come in? We lost Rena. You guys got any questions for me? We're just killing time. One of the blab people, I guess he's the, founder, co-founder, Furkan. Yeah, Furkan. Thank you. My husband's probably laughing. He's been telling me all day, Furkan. Okay, so we're hoping he will come in. He's going to stop by, and if you're here, Furkan, let us know. I don't see you yet. He's supposed to be here at 2, and if so, we'll find out what's new with Blab. And then I am so wanting to just rest today. Hello, hello. So what's new with you, Mary? What's new?
I know you're tired.
Huh? Yeah, I've been going since 7 this morning. You know me with Rock Your Interview Talk. But those were 2 good interviews. I mean, John D. Lemme, he is amazing, great motivator. And then Alex is all that, and then some bag of chips and M&Ms on the side. So yeah.
Raven, I just saw a thing that Kate asked me, did I want to notify my 370 followers?
Yeah, that's new. Yeah, so you can push that. But it's good that you can do that. But if they don't have you on automatic notification, they don't get it anyway. And most people, even I do, you only can keep a handful of people on notification, or you'll be getting notified every day, all day. You see what I'm saying? So it's a nice tool, but if everybody isn't signed up for your notifications whenever you come on, and think about it. I mean, we love like maybe 50 to 100 people we might listen to on here. We can't get everybody's notification. Your inbox will be crazy. But I did notice it, and it is good for those people that do tune in. So yeah.
How do you edit your notifications?
Well, I think you can go into profile settings, and you can put on there if you want to be notified all your friends. So that means every 351 friends, as they come on and do a blab, you would be saying yes to. I did that at first. It drove me crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. But it's a good thing. It's a good tool. Hey, Mary. Mary, can you hear me? Hi. Yeah. So what is okay, let's talk about the 2 guys I interviewed today. What's the best thing you got from Alex today? Omar, and then you, Mary. Anybody else want to jump in? We're just recapping so we from Blab will show up.
It was when he
well, the thing I got is like, you can choose your favorite platform. You can specialize in something. If we choose it to be Blab or YouTube or whatever.
When he gave the 5 things about repurposing and
wait a minute, I'm getting a big echo from you, Mary. Hold on a second. Echo, hold on.
It's kind of frozen.
And sorry we cut you off too. Let me get this. Okay, Mary, hold your thought because Omar was talking, so you kind of interrupted him. Can you hear me? Mary, can you hear me? Mary, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mary,
can you hear me?
Don't look like it. Maybe we could put it in the text box. Yeah, so that's what I got. Basically, it really just confirmed my decision.
Okay, didn't hear him. Can you hear me?
Hold on, I'm sorry, Omar. Okay, Mary, I need for you to wait until Omar finishes his statement and then jump in because we're missing you and you're coming in right when he's talking, okay? Can you hear me, Mary? She's looking at the notes. 1 second.
I don't know what's wrong with my lighting here. Let me try something.
Yeah, your lighting is dark.
Yeah, man.
Mary's is a little bit dark too. Hey, everyone, if you're just joining us, this is Raven, a talk show maven. I'm known by many as Queen of Blab and also Queen of Interview Conversion. We just interviewed John D. Lemme and also and also Alex Mandossian. So 2 very exciting guys. Lots to go back and listen to the replay. And we should be interviewing Furcon. Say his name one more time.
Furcon, like fur, a bear got fur.
Yeah, that's what my husband keeps saying. I know. I think it's probably cracking up.
Yeah, I think that's the whole. If you can just get the fur part straight, you'll remember the rest. Like an Alex Khan, Farcon.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So remember the fur.
Okay, Furcon. We're waiting for him.
Yeah. Okay. So again, what it really made me feel good about is my decision to make Blab my ultimate platform. Is here, is starting, is working. I like the people that I'm meeting. I'm meeting some real excellent people. And everybody is kind of on equal ground, and it's just so amazing, man. I've learned so much. A lot of people are willing to share, their content on marketing and everything. I've met some wonderful people. So I like it here. And, I just gonna use this here for now. And then, like as Mary was saying, to learn how to multi-purpose it. Or, multi-purpose it. What he said? What's the word for it?
Well, repurpose it.
Repurpose it. Yeah, repurpose it with a YouTube and all the other media. So.
Okay, hold on one second. I just got a message from. Okay, so FurCon will be here next Tuesday, and that sounds good. Okay, let me hold on. Tuesday, what time? So he will be here next Tuesday. I'm glad something told me to go look at my Twitter account. Yeah. Who is that? Who is that? Okay. Block that troll. Oh, okay. Let me see which one. Thanks, colleague. Thanks for looking out. Okay.
Sloppy success is better than a perfect mediocrity.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, Khalid, can you come in? But yeah, your lighting is unusual. Are you in a different room today?
Who, me? I'm here by the window, and that might be what's throwing my camera off. I'm going to have to get a direct light in front of me to push it forward. Okay, nice seeing you, Maven. I'll be back.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Hopefully you'll join us tomorrow. We missed you on Rock Your Interview Talk.
Okay, Raven. I really miss you. I've been out working, getting those trees done so I can sit up and have more time to hang out.
Okay. We'll talk to you later, and let me know about your blab. Socially,
okay,
Ninja, if you want to step in. I know we met at the event, the Periscope event. Come on. Anyone else? Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up because it's been a long day for me. And been two great interviews. I'm going to stop the recording now.